Dallas Dickey, the normal starter, he can run, and so can Taylor.
Well, this shows you what Taylor brings to the table. There wasn't a whole lot there. He just bounces it outside. You see that little give you the outside and take the inside for an extra 5 yards. He like Dallas Dickey, is a very talented quarterback.
Jalen Reedus, the free safety, had to make the tackle. So it's 3rd and short from the 45 of the Lions for West Georgia. And there's the keeper right up the middle by Taylor. He has daylight, and he will score the touchdown for West Georgia. A 45-yard scamper by the senior out of Blakeney, Georgia. And man, that's what he brings to the table too, Coach.
You know, I almost thought that Hensley was a little bit in motion before the play started, but no flag, so obviously not. But we've seen this formation a lot from Will Hall coach teams over the years. It's that quarterback off-tackle power play, and what a great job by that West Georgia front to knock those purple shirts out of there. And what a start for the Wolves.
Hunter Heck is the place kicker, and as you can see, he knocks in the extra point. So West Georgia and Will Hall's team trying to make a statement as they come in here to Brawley Stadium, take it the distance on their first drive on the run by Taylor. We'll be back.
I need my space to call my own. Space for galaxies of fun. Space for splashing in the sun.
Find your space on Florida's Space Coast. Home to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, 72 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches, and Florida Tech football. Florida Space Coast, your space for fun.
Seven 0 West Georgia with the advantage, and boy, what a drive, Rick, that was for the Wolves. 6 plays, 65 yards. It took 3:02, and a couple of new looks there. And that young man there, Emmanuel Taylor, you said he was pretty special, and he is.
Well, he sure was. And one of the things we didn't talk about in the pregame is, and you see the tail end of this, you can see that he can flat out run, is that Will Hall said this offensive line that he has is about as good as he's ever coached. They're all big. They're all 300-plus pounders. And, you know, they had a great offensive line last year, and I believe they may be a little bit better this year than they were last year, and don't think that won't be a factor in this game.
Well, of course, Will Hall made a lot of success known with what happened over in Livingston with the West Alabama program. He had a guy by the name of Deion Williams that helped him along the way as well.
Well, you know, the thing that he did at West Alabama that really I don't think ever been done there is that he won consistently, and that's something that Will Hall was able to do. And you can see that in his time at West Alabama, he split with North Alabama, going 2-2, and right now I guess he's 2 1/4 to 2 right now.
Right. First time UNA has trailed in the first half this season, and of course, as we mentioned, as you see Coach Hall, boy, he is full of excitement, and they are really happy to have him in Carrollton.
Well, he's a pot of enthusiasm, has a lot of fun doing this, has a swagger to him. And but this guy right here that we're looking at, he's been behind before, and he'll have him right back in it. This is going to be some kind of contest, I think, partner.
Yep. Of course, North Alabama, ranked number 3 in Division II football. They are the only team now that has not lost in conference play or undefeated overall in the season.
Well, of course, that's one of the things that you always are concerned about as a fan of the GSC, which you and I are, is that you sure don't want your teams to beat each other up and cost us playoff spots, which is kind of what happened in the league last year. And but as we said in the lead-up, the winner of this game is going to take a giant step towards the conference championship.
So the Wolves will kick off. It'll be number 92 handling kickoff chores. That's Lehman Howington, the sophomore out of Alpharetta, Georgia. And there's some dangerous men that can return it for North Alabama as well. Leading the way is Filbert Marshall, one of the best around, and also back there is Darvell Harris.
Yeah, they're both good, and Marshall is exceptional.
This kickoff presented by Florida Space Coast, Orlando's closest beaches, and our presenting sponsor. It'll be Marshall to the near side, looking for a hole, and it's knocked down hard at the 23-yard line. Excellent special team coverage that time by number 30 for West Georgia. What a stop that time by DJ Jackson.
Yeah, and that's a concern that Coach Wallace had in our meeting, that their return unit has not been what they want. You always like to get it past the 30 if you can. That time only to the 22-yard.
Well, the familiar face of Luke Wingo. Those are his seasonal numbers. He's 4-0 on the season, and the second and third string quarterbacks have each had to win a game, with a couple of games missed by Wingo this year with an injury, but he's back. Was back last week, and on the first play, it is just broken wide open. Wow, what a charging play that time by number 37, Alex Arma, sophomore.
Well, folks, this is called a mess charge, which means you charge to the mess and you tackle who has the ball. And that time,
Or both of them.
he just took both of them, just to be sure.
What a play by Arma, the sophomore out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. There's a good look at him. 6'2", 215. That is his 9.5 tackle for loss this year.
Yeah, he's second in the GSC.
On the ground it goes. Good run again. Always time the Lamonte Thompson touches the ball, something happens. Zed Brown, the strong safety. But this young man, junior out of Florence, is really, along with some other players, Kimball's, Simmons, and others, they've really had a
Both
strong
these backfields are deep, and we're seeing already how important this running game is going to be.
As Wingo tries, it gets the first down.
You know, we might want to mention that, you know, on the board for the keys to the game, it said Wingo's shoulder. We really didn't get to that. But he has had a little bit of a right shoulder problem, and they say he's 100%, but, you know, that 100% sometimes is a little different once the game starts. But on that run, he certainly looked like he was ready to roll.
Sets up a little screen to the near side, dumps it out, complete to Diamond Simmons. He gets the first down. Little different look there for North Alabama.
Yeah, it really was, and you know, you're going to read the zone, but what you're keying here is you're keying the front side linebacker. If he goes inside, you dump the ball outside. If he goes outside, you give the football. And that time, an excellent job by Wingo of making the read and also putting that throw right on the money, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do.
2nd and 2 as they spotted a little bit shy of the first down. Wingo throws, looks downfield, off the hand of Delvon Carpenter, the top receiver for UNA, the junior out of Houston. Yeah, I'm sure the timing was right there.
Well, you know, looking at the ball almost surprised him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I really thought the ball was going to be thrown to the inside slant, which popped open, but the vertical route right down the hash was open as well, and he did get a hand on it, but not until really, really late. And I really think the ball surprised him just a little bit.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 2. UNA with the football from their own 43, trailing 7-0. West Georgia scored on its first possession. Wingo, close to first down yardage. Then he is really rocked.
I think that shoulder's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, he got popped pretty good right there. And
Well, Jay Vazen came up from that cornerback spot, and he does get the first down, and he paid for that one.
nothing fancy here, folks. This is a single wing wide sweep. Good blocking on the edge, and of course that's the safety to fill the alley, and that safety filled the alley. But really nice running by Wingo to pick up a very important first down.
Yes, it was, Coach, out to the 45 to keep the drive going for the Lions. High snap. Wingo picks it down and now just throws it away.
Nice decision by a veteran quarterback. You know, as soon as that ball was high and tipped, the timing of the play was going to be shot, and tried to see if something was there. When it wasn't, why he threw it about the 5th row, which is exactly what you want to do.
Of course, you know the story about Wingo. His father, an All-American at Alabama, offensive lineman, played in the NFL, and he is a student of the game as Luke Wingo. Dumps it off to Thompson to the near side, and he scoots into Wolves territory, settles at the 45, and it looks like it is the first down. They move the chains.
course, that was a little combination route into the boundary, and of course, you teach defenders to sink, tape away the deep route, and break up on the short route. The only problem is you're looking at the receiver to the short route, and that guy is almost impossible to tackle in open space.
He's from right here in Florence, Alabama. Lamonte Thompson gets the carry again and only gets a yard. Once again, good defense up front.
Tried to run a little inside trap that time, and a nice reaction by the West Georgia interior. Not
Gabe
sure
Freeman.
exactly who it was. I think
Gabe
maybe
Freeman.
okay.
Yeah.
But that was a real nice nice play to hold that thing to just a 1 yard gain.
Got a Calhoun, Georgia. Short side of the field. Thompson gets the carry again, and boy, he was really doing a good job of following the downfield blocking from the receivers, Coach. Good block thrown there by Corey Jones.
Well, all great running teams get great perimeter blocking by their receivers, because that's the key to getting those huge impact plays. And what we're seeing as you look at his stats for the year, and that 5.7 is a pretty good average right there.
Play action and thrown behind, and that's an interception. It's picked off by Vason.
And this, let me continue my point, because I think this kind of verifies it, that you get so much east-west action and you read defenses so much, you use defensive movement against you, that sometimes that quarterback has to come off that fake so late in the play and get set so quick, tough to put that thing on the money.
And Vason gets his first pick of the year, and it's a big one. West Georgia leads it by 7. We'll be back.
I need my space to call my own. Space for galaxies of fun. Space for splashing in the sun.
Find your space on Florida's Space Coast. Home to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, 72 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches, and Florida Tech football. Florida Space Coast, your space for fun.
I'd heard that UWG is a land of opportunity. And it's true. Going west means making the most of endless possibilities.
Make your mark. The University of West Georgia. Go West.
The Gulf South Conference is focused on the student athlete and supporting its 12-member institutions by competing for regional and national championships, graduating student athletes at the highest rate, and impacting its community in a meaningful way. Headquartered in Birmingham, the GSC features a dynamic blend of public and private institutions. Its members and student athletes represent the very best in the NCAA. Compete, graduate, impact. The Gulf South Conference.
Heating and cooling, plumbing, electrical. Scholl's MPE is your one-call solution for installation and maintenance of every major brand. And during September, we're offering HVAC inspections for only $59.99. Plus, we provide free estimates scheduled at your convenience, because we know how busy you are. Make running your home or office easier and check out SchollsMPE.com for all our specials. Scholl's MPE, one call does it all.
Team has a 7-0 lead, and they'll have their second possession after that pick. That on the season. Another turnover that West Georgia's defense has really forced on the year. Oh, pretty good run and a pretty good takedown as well.
Yeah, you know, Denarius Appling has a lot of great qualities, but 178 pounds, girth is not one of them.
No. Yep.
Good to see him back full speed. He had that horrible car wreck last year.
Yeah, he did.
It's good to get him back on the field looking like his old self.
Boy, and everybody was really concerned just about whether he would survive or not, so I know quite a blessing for the folks over in Carrollton. On 2nd and 3. Taylor looks. Now he just lets it fly. He had an intended receiver in the area. That was Alex McCauley, number 28.
They tried to get a big one right down the middle of the field early, but UNA would have none of it. They had it covered up and really no place else to go. And like his counterpart on the other side of the ball, just threw it away and lived to fight another day.
Of course, we did expect Dallas Dickey to start. We don't know why the change, but obviously Taylor getting the job done as well. 3rd and 3 from the 24.
And I don't think this is a big surprise now to UNA. They knew all about Taylor. And matter of fact, Coach Walsh said tried to recruit him, so they knew they were going to see both of them.
There's the play, little quarterback draw, and he's short of it. Defended well that time by the Lions defense. Leading the way was senior Xavier Triplett.
Of course, Triplett is the transfer from Delta State, former GSC Defensive Player of the Year, and looks like he's starting to feel at home here now. You know, now that play that was so well defended that time by UNA is the same off-tackle quarterback power that they ran for the touchdown on the series before. That time to the left, time before to the right. That time UNA smelled it out real well, and we
they fake it. And with the football is Lane Thompson, and he gets the first down.
Partner, I should know to keep my comments short with Will Hall's team because there's no telling what they're going to do. That was really well executed.
The junior out of Bogart, Georgia, on the fake. And I was about to mention that interception that set up the drive. We'll see the replay. It's only the second thrown by UNA all year.
Well, of course, now what this is another version of the power play. Wrap down, kick out, lead somebody through the ball, snap to the left up back. You saw the punter jump up in the air to add a little polish to it. Very well executed by West Georgia for another big first down.
Takes it out to the 42-yard line of the Wolves. And Emmanuel Taylor doesn't like what he sees, so he immediately takes the timeout.
West Georgia.
As Coach Hall wants to bring him over to the sideline and straighten things out. Of course, we wanted to mention too, West Georgia's longtime radio voice, Mitch Gray, not with the team tonight. He expected to be inducted into the Georgia Broadcasters Hall of Fame. So congratulations from all of us to Mitch, and we're just glad to be here for this one, Coach.
We are. Mitch has been at West Georgia a long time, and I know he hates missing this one, but as you said, congratulations to him. Well, I would say that Madam Momentum is wearing red, white, and blue right now, partner.
It sure is. Of course, the only loss on the season, there's a good look at Thompson, who did very well executing that fake punt, was at Valdosta. That was in the day, and really, other than that, West Georgia's played everybody particularly tough on defense. They gave up 40 points to Valdosta State.
Yeah, except for that game, their defense has really been outstanding, and this offense, although the numbers are not very spectacular, it's a typical Will Hall team, and I think those numbers will get better as the year goes on.
Chavez Sims, the defensive end, stops this one from going anywhere in a hurry. He broke through. Good play by number 7. He had 22 tackles coming into the game. And their rush defense, you can see on the season. Of course, 87 yards thus far today. A lot of it on that 60-yard plus run for the touchdown by Emmanuel Taylor.
And they're overall the best in the GSC against the run, but they gave up a lot of yards last week to Florida Tech. And I know Coach Wallace was very concerned about that when we talked with him.
Yep. This is Denarius Appling on the carry, and I'm telling you, other than the trick plays and the pass play, UNA defense has pretty much stopped the run.
Yeah, they really have. You know, they had that one really long yardage, long run on short yardage for the score, but it's been tough going inside. We knew this was going to be a physical game.
Oh, yeah. 3rd and 11. Tyler Smith on that last stop from his defensive end position for UNA. Taylor gonna run it himself, or at least try to, breaks the tackle, but he's gonna come woefully short of the first down. Good job, Stephen Rich really came up and chopped him down.
Yeah, really interesting call there on both 2nd and 3rd, and really pretty long yardage. Went to the running game both times, and shows you the confidence that they have in their running game. and in Emmanuel Taylor's running ability.
James Dugan checks in to punt for the first time tonight.
And he's not bad, partner.
No, he's had a 70-yarder and a 63-yarder. Punts this one high. Marshall will watch it go out of bounds at about the 3 or 4. See where they spot it. Oh, it's going to be a little bit more than that. The official right there, let's make it the 10-yard line, but still an excellent punt, and that'll set up the West Georgia defense well. But the offense for UNA is going to go to work. They're down by 7. GSE TV on ESPN3 is brought to you all season by Florida Space Coast, Orlando's closest beaches. Brought to you by the Gulf South Conference, Compete, Impact, Graduate. And presented locally by Shoals MPE. One call does it all. Don Russell along with Rick Rhodes and our ESPN3 crew here and the GSC presented by Florida Space Coast. And Luke Wingo will have 90 yards to try to move the team down the field against Will Hall's team here tonight. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Thompson trying to get to the edge. And you know, one of the things that I think really we started to see it last year, West Georgia improved defensively an awful lot. And I think particularly with speed.
Yeah, very much so. And you know, they have a new defensive coordinator this year. He came over from the Great American Conference, Scott Simons, and he's really brought a lot of life to this defensive unit. And like UNA, they have great defensive speed and really set the edge well, just like they did on that play right there.
Second, a little more than 10. Here's Thompson. Boy, he has that quick burst. He gets about 7 yards in a hurry.
That was a little sprint draw. Wingo started the sprint action to his right, and the ball is given back to Thompson, cutting back to his left. Nice hole up front, but good open field tackle by the West Georgia secondary.
Yeah, they came up in a hurry, and both of these team secondaries have to be aware of that, Coach, because if the run is coming, they're sometimes the last people between them and the goal line. Thompson tries to bring it the near side. Football comes loose. I think he was down. Somebody lost a shoe in the process too. I thought it was a flag, but it was a shoe. And that is a first down run by Lamonte Thompson.
And he got popped pretty good at the end of that play. And
I think you're right.
And he's coming out, and it looks like that the bigger back, Taj Kimball, the transfer from Boston College, is going to come in and and spell Thompson for a play or two.
He's carried it 44 times this year. We told his story the last time we were here. And trying to get something straight ahead and just nothing there at all. That was Diamond Simmons. Nathan Teeter, the defensive tackle, the senior out of Cumming, Georgia, picked up his 20th tackle on the year. This is a defense that's allowing just 310 yards a game, Coach, and 14.4 points.
Yeah, these are the top two defenses overall statistically in the GSC.
Wingo underneath the Simmons. He breaks the tackle and gets the first down. It might be a late hit. It is. Boy, great second effort by the junior, huh?
What a tremendous open field move to avoid that first tackler. I mean, you talk about trying to catch a ghost.
And Reynolds hit him late, number 25.
A little extracurricular tacked on.
Personal foul, horse collar, defense, number 25. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
Kentrell Reynolds, a junior out of Thompson, Georgia. Actually, horse collar was the call, not a late hit.
You know, Simmons is a guy with great speed and elusiveness. He averaged about 19 yards a carry as a freshman. We are at the tail end of the play. You can see that is definitely a horse-type collar right there. So
it's first down. Simmons gets the carry again and squirts inside the 40. And was spotting at about the 39-yard line. That's a good first down play.
Yeah, good, tough inside running by Simmons. A little more than we've seen from him in the past. He's been a little more of an outside runner, but that time ran with a great deal of authority right behind his big offensive line.
If you joined us late, the Wolves scored on the opening possession of the game on a 65-yard run by Emmanuel Taylor, who got the start at quarterback tonight for West Georgia. That's been the only points thus far. Little play fake, and now where to go. Big number 40 in again to make the play, Bobby Liggins. He did not take the pump fake.
Well, again, this is the spread offense version of the option. You have a run dimension, and then you have a pass dimension off of linebacker movement. That time, either a misread or a breakdown in a route, the protection did not hold up, and big minus yardage play for the West Georgia defense.
Liggins picks up his 32nd tackle on the year. He's a senior. And now it's third down and 10 again from the 45 of West Georgia. Wingo puts it on the money to Lee Mayhall, and a first down and then some for the Lions.
Well, folks, this is the bender. And this is down the hash, and what you do if the safety gets wide, you bend it inside, and that's exactly what Mayhall does right there. Gets behind the linebacker in front of the safety. Really cannot be thrown or executed or caught better than that right there. Just a great job.
Down to the 27-yard line. Wingo is going to keep it. Looked like had kind of a bad fake exchange in the backfield with Thompson, and that'll be probably the final play of the quarter. But
well, that really was a beautiful throw and catch on the play before, was it not? Nice defensive play right there, too. I want to be equal. I want to give both sides, you know.
That's big Torrey Slater, 6'5", 290 senior, going off the field. Now it's 2nd and 10. And Wingo's going to take the snap. Simmons looking for somewhere to go and kind of dances his way down to the 23. He got a little bit out of nothing there on what will be the final play of the first quarter.
Nice job of using those quick feet to make something
out of nothing. That is the end of the first quarter. Timeout.
Halen Stuckey, the nose guard, made this tackle, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. The Lions are hosting the Wolves, and this has been the only touchdown in the game tonight. The touchdown run by Emmanuel Taylor. Glad you joined us for ESPN3's college football from the Gulf South Conference. Gorgeous night for football here in North Florida, or North Alabama.
You spent too much time on that Florida coast down there by Orlando, partner. And I understand it's a great area, but so is the northern part of Alabama. Now I got to stand up for my state.
I saw it
now.
all today, believe me. I wanted about to say
those leaves are about to turn now too.
UNA is 4 for 4 on third down conversions. I should have just said that. And now we have a whistle.
This one's going to get a little bit harder, maybe.
Yeah.
Prior to the snap, timeout, West Georgia. This will be a 30-second.
So West Georgia takes a timeout. They obviously saw something they didn't like, Coach, to use a
Can you
timeout
reset
there.
the clock to 15 minutes, please? 1500.
Interesting first quarter, wouldn't you say, partner?
I would think so, yeah.
Got a little bit of everything. Not many passes.
No, we saw the fake punt. The one pass that really his team threw for was a big third down conversion. And it wasn't too many plays later. It might have been the next play when Emmanuel Taylor took it the distance.
You know, this has been the physical pounding football game that we thought it would be. And those quick strike passes all are made much easier when you can run that football.
Well, Bobby Wallace, of course, in every Hall of Fame there is, winning as coach in UNA history, multiple national championships, and also a good guy.
Really good guy and a great players coach. You know, he can push the right button and help guys get where they want to get to.
Wingo fires this one complete.
It's a little option route, very similar to the one that West Georgia hit for that key first down early in the game.
As Carpenter caught it.
Flood the zone and try to make the linebackers split. They do throw the ball right down the middle.
And they get the first down. Now that's 5 for 5 on third down conversions. That'll help your drive too.
You better believe it. Carpenter's a guy that's really come on and has become a big cog in what they're trying to do.
First and 10 from the 17. Up a busted play. Wingo's going to take it himself down to the 15. He spun around and looked for someone, and guess what?
Somebody went the wrong way.
Yeah, they did. But Wingo got what he could out of it, a couple of yards. Of course, this drive started back at the
10-yard line.
10, yeah.
They've methodically driven it down.
Mayhaw comes in motion. Wingo's going to keep it, breaks the tackle, and got really about 3 yards out of a play that looked like was going nowhere.
Yeah, he came off that option read and really missed the read and was able to spin back inside and turn a minus yardage play into a 3-yard gain.
Zed Brown, a freshman strong safety, made the stop for the Wolves. And another third down conversion. Let's see if the Lions can make it 6 of 6.
So far, they've had the answer every time.
Trailing 7-0 against West Georgia. And we may have some additional yardage now.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty.
Delvon
third
Carpenter.
down.
Somebody flinched, and of course, you never want those, but on third down in the red zone, that's when it really causes that reaction.
It'll make you flinch, won't it?
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised to see some kind of a play action option fake throw, but it's going to be a no back deal. So back to that controlled passing game, we try to stretch and throw the ball underneath.
So Wingo out of the empty backfield. Back to throw, looking to the corner of the end zone, caught, and it's a touchdown to Dre Hall. Boy, I tell you, he hadn't caught many this year, but when he does, Rick, it's been for Pater. What a nice route and throw.
Well, it really was. That's a corner route. And I want to tell you, Wingo threaded that thing from about 22 yards. He put it really the only place that ball could have been completed, and really a great catch right there by that young man. Man, what a great throw.
And Pontius in for the point after touchdown with a chance to tie it up. Mayhaw will hold. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So Wengo fires the completion to Dre Hall for the touchdown pass, and that ties the game at 7. As Rick said, he really zipped that baby in there. 7-7 in Florence.
Great throw.
I need my space. I need my space to call my own. Space for galaxies of fun. Space for splashing in the sun.
Find your space on Florida's Space Coast. Home to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, 72 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches, and Florida Tech Football. Florida Space Coast, your space for fun.
At UWG, I'm getting the kind of experience that most people only dream of. And you're not limited to just one thing. That's why I'm going west.
Make your mark. The University of West Georgia. Go West.
The Gulf South Conference is focused on the student athlete and supporting its 12-member institutions by competing for regional and national championships, graduating student athletes at the highest rate, and impacting its community in a meaningful way. Headquartered in Birmingham, the GSC features a dynamic blend of public and private institutions. Its members and student athletes represent the very best in the NCAA. Compete, graduate, impact. The Gulf South Conference.
What is it about UWA? Is it the beauty of her campus? The feeling of being just the right size? World class, without classes big enough for the world? Is it the warmth of her people? They say there's something about this place. Maybe it's because this place feels like home. On campus or online, the University of West Alabama.
Well, Bobby Wallace's team, that's an impressive drive there, Rick. 90 yards, 14 plays, 6:41 to tie the game, and there was the guy that caught the touchdown pass, Dre Hall.
Yeah, 100 yards last week has really come on and has become a very important cog in this UNA offense. Here you see the numbers. Again, what an impressive drive to even this thing up.
And the kick is in the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. No fielding by Appling this time, so they'll bring it out.
And I tell you, that's about as good a kick as you're going to have. And I'm sure that's what he was trying to do the first time out, is to pin Appling in that corner, cut the field down. Now, Appling already has one kickoff return for a touchdown and had one called back last week against Delta State because of a penalty. So they've done a good job on both kickoffs to keep him from touching the football.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for West Georgia from their own 25-yard line.
And we see Emmanuel Taylor again. A little bit of a surprise. I thought we might see Dallas Dickey. Don't know if there's an injury involved, but certainly Taylor's a very capable hand back there.
He scored the only touchdown in the game for the Wolves. And this time, try to work it to the right side. Nowhere really for Seth Hensley to go, the senior from Norcross. 3rd in the GSC in rushing is Hensley. 84.7 a game, 5.6 per carry. He's a load too, isn't he?
Yeah, I've watched some of this play up front on both sides, and this is no place for the faint of heart. Now, this is not check blocking that's going on up there.
Yeah, Hensley 5'10", 224. He's to the right of Taylor, and he fakes it, and Taylor will keep it. And once again, defensively, UNA stayed home. Good play first of all. That's Darius Jones, the right corner, made the open field play.
Yeah, and I tell you, he came a long way to come in on that play. Now, he was back in coverage and ran that thing down. Showed you some of that great secondary speed that we know that North Alabama has in that secondary.
3rd and 6 for the Wolves from their own 29.
I think this is our first big play of the game right here. Now, they don't want to give this ball back to North Alabama.
Yeah, because they were in a groove after that last drive. Taylor back to throw and incomplete. It's intended for Shaq Hall, but not really even close.
Well, the ball was tipped up front by that
was
young
it?
man
Okay.
right there, yes. And really,
Shelton Lewis get it?
Yeah, so many times, that is overlooked. But again, you try to teach defensive linemen, if you can't get there, then make a wall, get those hands up, get in the quarterback's vision, and sometimes you get a paw on that thing. And what a crucial deflection that was, and a nice heads-up play by that young man.
Good play. Sorry we didn't pick it up initially for Lewis deflecting that. Dugan, the left-footed punter, backs up Marshall to the 14. Looking to the near sideline, tiptoes a little bit, and that's about it. Fans wanted maybe a late hit on the near sideline, but there's no flag.
Nah, it wasn't that late. You can see why Dugan's an All-American. Boy, he can boom it.
7-7, UNA and West Georgia from here in Florence. We'll be right back.
Being an athlete, you have to have a really strong mind. Then I realized I got to get to work and I want to be successful someday. So
just become, that person that you want to be because you've worked so hard.
Knowing what to get done when to get up extra shots, when to read a little deeper into your chapter.
And show my team that I'm here to lead them.
Hard work that's put into it, all the dreaming about it, and it finally becomes reality. It's pretty special.
Every season starts with hope and a dream to play for the ultimate title, to become NCAA national champions. And you can experience it live at the 2014 NCAA Division II Football Championship, December 20th at Sporting Park in Kansas City. Hosted by the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association and Kansas City Sports Commission. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/tickets today and make a date with champions.
Welcome back to Florence, Alabama and Brawley Stadium. The ESPN3's coverage of GSC football presented by Florida Space Coast. And UNA with the football. Last time they had it, they drove 90 yards to tie the game. First play, pass in and out of the hands of Lamonte Thompson. He's done a great job. It's our privilege to have the Director of Athletics here at North Alabama, Mark Linder, and also serves on one of the regional committees for the playoffs. And Mark, first of all, welcome. Coach was talking about this game all week. This is one of those special nights, isn't it?
It is. We've got two great football teams, and I made reference earlier that it's kind of like a great fight. They're kind of sparring right now to get a feel for one another.
And here goes Kimball. Boy, he's a good-looking runner. And Coach, one thing about your team that we found out, they completed 6 consecutive third-down conversions. That's really helped them to drive.
That does help. And we know that we need to keep our defense off the field and make this game a short game. So I think we're doing a great job with that three-back set.
So a first down, 1st and 10, out to the 42. This goes to Kimball again as he takes it across the 40 to the 45, 47-yard line. And again, we want to thank your local sponsor. Of course, we talked about when we were here before, Shoals MPE, just a great sponsor for helping us and you as well. And I know they're excited to be a part of it again.
That's right. Darren Rhodes and his company, they do a wonderful job in the Shoals area. And if it's going up as far as building goes, he's a part of it.
They do it all. Mechanical, plumbing, electrical. And a fine sponsor for UNA. That went in and out of the hands, or did he pick it? Nope. It was dropped, intended for Mayhall. It came loose, and it'll fall incomplete. Of course, one of the things, Coach, when you talk about this league, just every week matters. And, of course, we're going to talk about regional things. We can't talk about details. But one of the things Rick mentioned is in this league, so many good teams, you have to look and make sure not too many people knock everybody out.
That's right. And when you look at our out-of-conference schedule, our teams did a wonderful job for the GSC. I think we were 20-5, so our strength of schedule is just really high right now as a league, and that's a tribute to our teams in our league.
But one of the things we always like to do, Coach and I, to come here in Florence for the great environment that we have here at Brawley Stadium. Here on the third down play. And it looks like that streak's going to come to an end. They can't complete the third down. I tell you, this is a West Georgia team that's much improved. Real defensive struggle here tonight for these two, right?
Yes. Well, you know Will Hall is a great young coach, and you knew he was going to do some special things when he got the facilities at West Georgia, and sure enough, it didn't take him very long to figure it out.
Pontius will come in to punt. We're going to keep it here and not take a break after this punt. Coach, I'll let you chime in about maybe some things that Mark has to do in terms of regional services for the playoffs. Good punt, fair catch. Appling makes it and takes it at the 17. No, it's not an easy job, particularly, but why don't you kind of explain how the system works? Because Coach and I have talked, it's really a good system.
Yes, when you look at the United States, there's 4 regions, and the top 6 teams go from each region to the national playoffs. And so you really want to do the yeoman's work as far as looking at the numbers, seeing who has the good wins and maybe even the bad losses. Look behind the numbers to see, the head-to-head competition and common opponents, because you really want to make sure with only 6 slots that you get the right 6 in.
Coach, I know you appreciate it, having gone through it as well. It was really
well. I think the expanded field that they did a few years ago to get to 24 teams was really a great move, because you never know who's going to have the hot hand at the end of the year.
Well, right now, another completion. This goes to Newman from Emmanuel Taylor. And Rick, that's the second time those two have connected tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And that time the UNA flat defender sunk way inside. I don't know if it was a busted coverage, but as you can see, wide open for a big first down for West Georgia.
Well, Mark, the GSC has been so successful in Division II playoffs all the way up to the championships here, Delta State, Valdosta State. But the league's getting even better as we add schools, too. I know everybody's impressed with that so far, too. The competition's not getting any easier, I guess.
That's right, because I know Shorter had a couple big wins outside the conference that will be very good for our league. And I tell you what, Florida Tech had some tremendous wins, and I don't think they're done having some tremendous wins. I think they're a really good football team. Obviously, the team we're watching right here, West Georgia, they're really good too. And so you have a lot. I think you have probably 5 or 6 that are in the hunt to be in that top 6 in the region. And there's a lot of football. I know we're in week 7 now, or week 8, and there's still a lot of football to be played to see who those top 6 teams are going to be.
Hensley tried to run it for the first down and came up a little bit short. How do you keep up with it? Of course, we're fortunate to have our games televised on ESPN3. I know it's difficult. You have to kind of keep up with all the teams in the region, right?
You really do, and the NCAA has a really good software program where all the information's added as far as scores and score differential, strength of schedule, and so it really gives you a way to compare the teams that are involved.
Big third down play here, and just barely Emmanuel Taylor. Rick looked like he made the only call he could and just barely got the first down.
Yeah, he did, and that's back to that unbalanced set that our athletic director here spotted earlier in the game. They ran it again, and that time it did produce a first down.
I'm just glad it only got 2 yards instead of 40.
A little bit shorter gain, wasn't it? It does move the chains out to the 48-yard line of West Georgia. You see Will Hall over there, of course, the Harlan Hill Trophy winner here at UNA. Mark Linder, the Director of Athletics here at UNA, our guest here in the second quarter. I'm Don Russell with Coach Rick Rhodes. Glad you joined us on ESPN3 in the GSC. There's a completion to the far side of the field, going to be short of the first down.
Is complete to number 18, Epling.
That's Epling. Epling getting the reception. Mark, I guess now as every week goes down, as we go to the playoffs, every week becomes more important. And we're getting pretty close to things happening here for real in a few weeks.
That's right. I just look at some of the schedules and some of the big games coming up. I mean, we go from playing a great West Georgia team here to playing Delta, and then we have to finish the season with Shorter and West Alabama, and so you start looking at that schedule. And I know West Georgia has played Delta and Valdosta, so they may be looking at this game as a kind of the linchpin to their conference championship hopes. And so there's a different atmosphere, I'm sure, on every campus as to what games you have coming up, and all of them are big right now. I don't think there's any one team in the league that anybody can overlook.
You're right, that's for sure. On the first down play, Appling on the carry, and Rick, they're beginning to use Appling more in a different capacity, even though they're running back instead of Seth Hensley.
Yeah, it really is interesting. It's a little different dimension. Obviously, a great speed back there, but you know, on one of the key plays early, they motioned him out, got him one-on-one with a corner, and easy, nice completion on a curl route. You know, if you bring the defense in to play the run and you motion him out, you got him one-on-one. If they stay outside to handle that, the running lanes inside are a little bit softer, so it's an interesting concept for sure.
2nd and 9 from the 40 of the Lions for West Georgia. This pass thrown out of bounds. They either threw it away or a misconnect between the quarterback and receiver. Mark, I know one of the things that everybody's proud about is how much this league has grown and how competitive this is. And really the thing that's great about this league, that's what everybody wants too. They always want to win the championship, you got to beat the best of the best, don't you?
We believe so. I mean, the great thing about a league like this is if you win the conference championship, you put yourself in a position to win a national championship. And I know that some of our programs in the GSC, that's the goal, is to be the best of the best. And so when you start talking about the schools like Delta and UNA and Valdosta and West Georgia, West Alabama, those are some pretty big names.
And there's a big stop by the defense. Coach Rhodes stopped on 3rd down as, tell you, the Lions really flying to the football. Stephen Rich with another fine play.
I don't mean to be critical right here. Well, maybe I do, but respectfully. But I don't think you're going to make a living against this defense on 3rd and 10 trying to run the quarterback off tackle. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, they're going to go for it here, at least appear as if they are. With Emmanuel Taylor, the starter tonight, and has been the quarterback for every snap. And letting the clock run down.
Run down. They take 5 to help the punt, or
I think that's what they're going to do. And it is a delay of game.
A little more cushion for the kick.
Mark, anything else on the horizon as you see as the GSC evolves? I know Matt Wilson's been on board, done a good job. Everybody seems to be responding. The changes that have been made in a lot of the conference members and what they're doing, everything seems to be working toward that apex right now.
Yeah, I think the hire of Matt Wilson has been great for our league. He brings some experience from the ASUN, and I happen to know the commissioner of the ASUN. He's a quality guy, very professional, and Matt brings a lot of those characteristics to us. And I believe the Gulf South's going in the right direction.
Well, Mark, thanks for visiting with us, and again, our special thanks to the folks at Shoal MPE for their support.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you being here.
Mark Linder, along with Coach and I, 7-7 our score. We'll be back to Florence in just a moment. Great job. 7-7, a good one here in the GSC. ESPN 3's coverage presented by Florida Space Coast, Orlando's closest beaches, and it goes UNA right back to work again. Wingo flush from the pocket, still makes a nice throw out of it, and again it's Dre Hall, and Wingo is down. He is down at the 17-yard line, sails on the coverage of the tackle.
Play games up to the 35-yard line.
Wingo took a real hit back there after he completed that pass.
Yeah, I took my eyes off him when the ball was released. I don't know whether it's that right shoulder again or whether another problem has occurred. Now, here is the UNA quarterback situation. Their backup all year, of course, has been Jacob Tucker. Now, he broke his foot earlier in the year. He's out for the year, so the backup now is Jacob Thomas, a redshirt freshman from the Birmingham, Alabama area. Played well in his only start of the year, but obviously the concern over Wingo right there as his teammates gather around.
Okay, we're going to take a break with the injury to Wingo, and we'll check on him when we come back. 7-7 our score.
The Gulf South Conference is focused on the student athlete and supporting its 12-member institutions by competing for regional and national championships, graduating student athletes at the highest rate, and impacting its community in a meaningful way. Headquartered in Birmingham, the GSC features a dynamic blend of public and private institutions. Its members and student athletes represent the very best in the NCAA. Compete, graduate, impact. The Gulf South Conference.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
Every season starts with hope and a dream to play for the ultimate title, to become NCAA national champions. And you can experience it live at the 2014 NCAA Division II Football Championship, December 20th at Sporting Park in Kansas City, hosted by the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association and Kansas City Sports Commission. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/tickets today and make a date with champions.
Well, that's a good sign there. Luke Wingo up off the field. Looked like he was hit, maybe had his bell rung, and check on him. But now we have Jacob Thomas in at quarterback. And they said there was an exchange problem. West Georgia says they have the ball. We haven't had the official signal yet. Well, that would be unfortunate as Jacob Thomas comes in on the first snap.
Well, and so many times when you come in cold, you know, this can happen. And if the white shirts are correct, this ball is going to be turned over.
On the fumble, the ball was recovered by White. First down, West Georgia.
There's the confirmation. Good play by number 30.
West Georgia takes over now, first and 10.
Well, so many times you have to make that change. Cadence is a little bit different, so the timing is a little bit different. And unfortunate for you at that point. Nice heads-up play by West Georgia. I'm looking over here on the sideline to Wingo. You know, it's hard to say exactly what now. He's just picked up his helmet and is moving towards the offensive bench, so that's a good sign. If they let you have your helmet, you probably got a chance to go back in the game.
Yeah. DJ Jackson, by the way, recovered that fumble, and now we're after the turnover. It's first and 10 for the Wolves at the 34 of UNA, and that's one thing you don't need to give them as a field advantage on a turnover.
Yeah, and from a West Georgia standpoint, you've got to turn this into points.
And it goes to the big man again, Hensley, the first guy through, and he just barrels his way forward for a few yards.
Not much, though. Only about 2, and a very good job by that UNA defensive front of holding their position, playing their gaps, coming off blocks, and holding that to minimal gain. Very, very physical on the inside right there.
Second down, and we'll call it 8. Same play, just trying to get wider, and stopped at the 30-yard
line. On the carry around the left side, stop made by number 26, C.J. Jackson.
Both these defenses do such
Jackson made the stop. Excuse
me, partner. Both these defenses do such a great job of setting that edge and getting upfield in a hurry and shutting down those outside plays. That's exactly what North Alabama does at this point. And this is the biggest play of the football game right here, no doubt about it. 3rd and 6.
From the 30-yard line of UNA, we're tied at 7. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Taylor's going to keep it, and he's going to come up short.
So it's going to be a long yard at least. I tell you, there's nothing fancy here now. I mean, this is just zone and off-tackle power.
And the 26-yard line brings up 4th down.
And Will Hall brings in Eric Newman, the tight end. Looks like they're going to go for it again here on 4th, and it's a solid 2.
You notice who the tailback is right here. It's Demarius Appling, I believe.
He's in there, number 18. And they fake to Appling. Flag on the play, throwing toward the end zone. Intended for Appling.
What they try to do is slip Appling out of the backfield, throw a little wheel route to him all the way to the backside. UNA had it covered up pretty well. I think there may be a holding penalty inside as well.
Two fouls on the play. Holding, defense, number 91. Holding, offense, number 78. Those penalties will offset, will replay 4th down.
Well, Tyler Smith for one side was holding, then number 78, Awa DeBose. So do it again.
Yeah, well, you could see Appling trying to slip through the interior, and really I think that West Georgia caught a break right there. It wasn't a hold, it was a
takedown. 2 points. 4th and 2 from the 26.
Appling still the deep back in the backfield.
I think he's going to take the timeout. Will does.
Timeout.
3:22 remaining in the half.
That is their final of the half.
Coach Hall will call his troops over, and Bobby Wallace the same.
Well, we've seen quarterback runs on 3rd and long. We've seen wheel routes attempted on 4th and 2. And just to see what the Wolves come up with this one.
407-880.
Well, we'd like to remind you, of course, GSC TV.
Just won a $50 gift card from Frostbite Frozen Treats. Please bring your student ID and your red ticket to the main ticket window behind Section A before halftime of tonight's game to gain your prize.
6 p.m. Central,
That red ticket number
right
once
here
again,
on ESPN3. And we saw West Alabama last week get their win at Shorter, and now, of course, Valdosta State, the only team to knock off West Georgia this year.
Yeah, and both those teams still are in the hunt now. The loser of that game will not be. They'll be out of playoff competition for sure. Valdosta State, I think, still has something to say for sure in this race. And West Georgia looked awfully good West Alabama, excuse me, looked awfully good last week.
Because the last time we were here, Valdosta State was within 3 seconds of defeating Alabama.
Yes, absolutely.
That last second 54-yard field goal by Taylor Pontus.
Well, here we go.
4th and 2 for West Georgia. Taylor acts like he's going to run. Now he throws, and boy, there wasn't anybody over there.
Passed on the left side,
not much run after that timeout.
Well, they tried to come back again off. They faked the quarterback run right there, tried to run a little stretch route. Inside receiver to the post, outside receiver towards the back, down the sideline. But UNA had them both covered up, nowhere to go with the football, and the ball's turned over. Interesting calls.
And I think Coach Hall was complaining that maybe somebody was held up over there in the pass.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that where you get into the gray area is, that looks like a run fake. You can tackle that guy. As you see, number 12, Wingo back into the game. I'm sure that's good news for UNA fans.
And his daddy and everybody else. back on the ground it goes.
You know, I think that when the story of this game is written, that failure to convert anything on that turnover could loom very, very large.
Well, now UNA, after that last drive, the tie of the game, they have established themselves as the running team now.
Yeah.
That's what Wingo has done today.
You know, it was interesting when Mark was on, we got into that, UNA got into that little diamond set, that three-back backfield. I thought they had some things going there. It'll be interesting to see if they go back to it later on in this game.
A lot of open room for Thompson this time, and he spins all the way out to the 42.
Boy, what a huge gaping hole by the left side of UNA offensive line. This is the read zone again. Watch this cutback and look at the push by the purple shirts up front. I mean, there's not a white jersey looking from left to right on your screen for 5 yards width-wise. Just a great job by the left side of the UNA offensive line.
Yeah, and the free safety Gaines missed the tackle, and that allowed that additional yardage for the first down for Thompson. Wingo throws this one to Thompson.
Pass complete to number 24,
Thompson. 3 yards on the play before he's knocked down by Kentrell Reynolds.
Play gains up to the 49-yard line.
Got in the no-back set, just a little quick passing game, just to give them a little different look and try to stretch that defense a little bit more horizontally, east and west.
You don't see these two teams involved in games very often that are 7-7 right before the half.
Well, you know, Mark talked about it being a heavyweight title fight. And that's exactly what it is. And right now, these teams are exchanging body shots.
And Thompson again for the first down.
That's a pretty good left hook right to the ribs right there, partner.
He is so much fun to watch run.
Good job by the right side of the UNA line that time to get the defense hook. And an excellent block by the slot receiver. I didn't get his number, but good blocking downfield right there.
First and 10 from the 40. Well, Thompson's been hot. Give it to him for another 4-yard
Thompson again on the carry up the middle.
Minute 27 remaining. 5 different receivers have caught a pass tonight for UNA. That's kind of standard procedure, isn't it?
Yeah, they spread the ball a lot, and you know
they really do. Have a wolf down.
Yeah, we got one down. This is a physical football game, as we've seen by the more than a few visits from the trainer on both sides. Could be wrong here. Certainly have been before, but it looks like that those guys in purple are slowly but surely kind of taking control of this football game.
Yeah.
West Georgia has had some missed opportunities, and UNA just seems to be gaining a little bit of momentum, and maybe in a test of will, they're starting to get a little bit of a leg up on things. And speaking of legs, we got
there's a leg up right there, not the one you want to see. Stuckey.
Yeah, that's their big 6'4".
Von Stuckey, yeah.
300-pound nose guard, and if they lose him, that'll hurt them.
He's from Defuniak Springs in the Florida Panhandle. Came in with 22 tackles, big nose guard. Second and about 7.
Number 5, Simmons on the carry.
Simmons this time
Stop made by
gets
number 90, Slater.
And Slater came in to make the stop, pick number
Brings
90.
up third down.
6'5", 290. You know, both these defensive lines do such a great job of varying their technique. One time they'll read and hit, another time they'll slant or take a gap hard. That time, Slater did a great job of taking a gap to his inside, got upfield, destroyed the play before it ever started.
Less than a minute to go in the half. 3rd and 8. Wingo lost it. I think he got it back fortunately. Somebody slapped it away.
Recovered by the Lions.
And the clock continues to run. That well could be the final play of the half, because you can bet, I don't know, UNA's going to be in any hurry to punt this thing away.
Yeah, well, UNA is trying to hit a curl right over the middle right there, and you know, it just takes too long to develop. You see the ball pops loose, the protection breaks down, but excellent coverage. You know, that's a coverage sack right there.
That's coming up in a special performance by the UNA Pride of Dixie Marching Band. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, UNA trailed for the first time in the first half when they fell behind 7-0 on that touchdown run by West Georgia.
North Alabama. This will be a 30-second.
And North Alabama stops it with 4.5 seconds.
Also, fans, University of North Alabama would like to thank the following gold logo corporate partners: Comcast Cable, The Courier Journal,
He's a tough
Simpsons
one.
Collision Repair,
Talked to Coach
State
Wallace.
Farm
He said
Insurance, TVA Community Credit Union, the Courthouse
every
Racket Club,
semester,
the
not
Robert
every
Trent
year.
Jones of the Shoals,
Every semester
Leeton
he's been a little
Pharmacy
bit
and
better.
Logan Pharmacy
Yeah,
in
he really
Logan,
has. He's
Progress Bank and
improved.
Trust,
We've seen him
Jimmy
every year
John's,
since he
and
was a
Williams
freshman.
Cleaners, the official cleaner of the
College
Pride of
quarterback.
Dixie
Now,
Marching Band.
there's 4.5 left.
Also,
and,
let's don't forget our
they
UNA
just may take
women's
one
soccer
shot to
team
the
will
end
play
zone
their
right
final
here.
home game
See if they can get a
and
cheap one
senior
right before
night
the
on
half.
Halloween at 7 p.m. versus Mississippi College.
I see
Be sure to come out and support the
Taylor
UNA
Buck is next
Lions
to Coach
soccer
Wallace. He
team
just took his
next
helmet off.
Friday, October 31st for their
usually a
last
sign
home
maybe he's
game
not going on the
and
field.
senior night over at UNA
That
Field.
54-yarder he made could have been from 60.
Yep. Well, this would be about 62 yards, and that may be a bit much.
Long way.
I'd be surprised to see number 27 involved in this.
Ringo tries to get out of the traffic, just lets it go. As Coach said, it's tipped up in the air, and I think it's intercepted.
Yep.
Pass
Picked
intercepted
off
by number
Marcus
19, Sales. That is the end of the
gets the
first
pick,
half of play with your score
That'll
North
take
Alabama
us to the
7,
end of the
West
first
Georgia
half
7.
with a 7-7 score with West Georgia and UNA.
I feel like I'm watching Rocky and Clubber Lang fight.
The defense is dominating the first half, and both teams now will go to the locker room and try to rework some things for the second half. 7-7 at the half. More coming up from our halftime show here in Florence.
Heating and cooling, plumbing, electrical. Scholl's MPE is your one-call solution for installation and maintenance of every major brand. And during September, we're offering HVAC inspections for only $59.99. Plus, we provide free estimates scheduled at your convenience because we know how busy you are. Make running your home or office easier and check out SchollsMPE.com for all our specials. Scholl's MPE, one call does it all.
I'd heard that UWG is a land of opportunity. And it's true. Going west means making the most of endless possibilities.
Make your mark. The University of West Georgia. Go West.
Every season starts with hope and a dream to play for the ultimate title, to become NCAA national champions. And you can experience it live at the 2014 NCAA Division II Football Championship, December 20th at Sporting Park in Kansas City, hosted by the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association and Kansas City Sports Commission. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/tickets today and make a date with champions.
I need my space to call my own. Space for galaxies of fun. Space for splashing in the sun.
Find your space on Florida's Space Coast. Home to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, 72 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches, and Florida Tech Football. Florida Space Coast, your space for fun.
I just started looking throughout the whole nation, and Union really stood out to me.
My senior year, I decided to give Union a look, and I fell in love with it.
I definitely see it as a community, the integration of faith and learning.
Spend the extra time and actually come visit Union, seeing the type of students that are here, talking with the professors. There's never a dull moment here on campus.
Seven our halftime score between UNA and West Georgia. Glad to have you along on ESPN3 presented by Florida Space Coast. And speaking of that, so very pleased to have Florida Space Coast as our presenting sponsor all season long here in the Gulf South Conference. Had a chance to visit there a few weeks ago. So many things to do in that beautiful part of Florida. Let's take a closer look at Florida Space Coast here at halftime.
Florida Space Coast is where natural wonders and exhilarating adventures go hand in hand. This is the home of America's space program, quite literally the nation's gateway to the universe. It was the departure point for a historic moonwalk, a visit to the International Space Station, and it's where Space Shuttle Atlantis is now on permanent display. Live rocket launches are open to the public. How cool is that? Back on Mother Earth and less than an hour's drive from Orlando, you'll find 72 glorious miles of Atlantic coast beaches from Melbourne to Cocoa. Cocoa Beach was voted one of America's top beach towns, and its landmark pier is the perfect place to sit and watch the world go by. We're the East Coast surfing capital of the U.S., and we have surf schools and board rentals to get you started. Surf legend Kelly Slater grew up in Cocoa Beach, and there are surf festivals and competitions year-round. The Space Coast is a popular stop on the Great Florida Birding Trail. People from all over the world gather to focus on our feathered friends, over 300 species in all. Everything from birds of prey to flocks of wading birds resting in a lagoon. An airboat is a great way to see our wide-open spaces, skimming across 170,000 spectacular acres of Florida wetlands. These amazing machines will take you where a regular boat simply can't go. It's a wind-in-the-hair experience that's not to be missed. Port Canaveral is one of the world's busiest cruise ports. 4 million passengers a year can't be wrong. It's home to some fabulous state-of-the-art cruise ships, and Jetty Park is a great place to watch them head out for the blue waters of the Caribbean. Our wilderness areas provide habitat for more than 500 species of fish. Enjoy surf casting or fishing from a boat. Choose from saltwater or fresh. Our area guides are known for their expertise and will give you a wonderful day on the water. We're located where temperate and subtropical climate zones collide, and you can find animals and plants here that are found nowhere else on Earth. Explore from a kayak, on horseback, on a bike, or maybe try stand-up paddleboarding. Brevard Zoo was voted one of the top 10 small zoos in the U.S. Home to more than 160 species, it's the only zoo in the country to feature kayak adventures on site. Feed the giraffes or experience a natural high over at Treetop Trek. Our destination has shopping to suit all budgets and tastes. Stroll through historic districts with a surprising mix of quaint stores, galleries, and cafes. The world's largest surf shop is right on your doorstep, or you might hit the local farmer's market. Florida Space Coast has all the right elements for your vacation. It's the perfect blend of outdoor activities, family fun, and relaxation.
The entire cast includes the classical themes of Scheherazade, Dance Bacchanal, and Meatloaf.
Balancing classroom responsibilities, homework, studying, along with my responsibilities on the basketball court is very hard work. It takes a lot of timing, it takes a lot of scheduling, it takes a lot of dedication. When you say you're gonna do something, you have to do it, and you have to make sure that you have the time to complete the task because you can't be sloppy. And so it really is hard to focus on both aspects when they demand a lot of you. But the balancing act is in knowing what to get done when to get up extra shots, when to read a little deeper into your chapter, when to ask questions in class because you may not be here for the rest of the week. You have to really know and plan ahead, and that's really the trick in it all.
It is about, I guess, sacrifice. I mean, being away from my family, that's just something I have to sacrifice. I mean, they're always in my thoughts, and when I first leave them, it's tough, but then I realize I gotta get to work and I wanna be successful someday, so I realize that that's just something I'm gonna have to do.
I think about being an athlete, you have to have a really strong mind, really. Your mindset, because I think of it like, when your mind is strong, then everything else will follow. I mean, that's why the Lord created it at the top of your head. You know, it's the top, and then everything trickles on down. And what advice I would give to them is basically, you gotta have a strong mind. You gotta be, you gotta have some willpower to really just, to go through a lot of stuff. You're gonna have bumps and bruises along the way, but if you have a strong mind, you're able to overcome anything. Anything that life throws at you, even what sports throw at you, you're able to overcome all of that.
My grandfather was diagnosed with lung cancer. I guess it would be freshman year of college before I was at Delta State, and making that first start was just everything I had worked for. Always dreamed of playing in college, always dreamed of being a college quarterback. Having my grandfather there, who died the next week, he got to see that, having my entire family there. After all the work, hard work that's put into it, all the dreaming about it, and it finally becomes reality, it's pretty special.
As my final season, I'd like to really step up and show my team that I'm here to lead them. In the past, we've had people older than me who are more experienced, and I always look to them. And to be a good leader, you first have to be a good follower, and I've learned very much from the people before me. So I plan to take that experience I had with them and pass it on to the freshmen and the sophomores and whatnot as they rise, and try to teach them how to become a leader.
I plan to go to grad school, and so not sure, what career I want to take, but I know that playing Division II athletics is going to help me, build that team aspect that you need in the job, and just become, that person that you want to be because you've worked so hard in athletics that it's going to transfer into your career.
At halftime on our ESPN3's coverage of the Gulf South Conference, presented by Florida Space Coast, Orlando's closest beaches. Back with the coach, Rick Rhodes. I'm Don Russell. And Rick, not too often in the GSC do you see a 7-7 ball game, but we mentioned the fact that the defenses would be key tonight, and certainly that was the case.
Well, these are two of the top defenses in the country. And, of course, the strength of both of these teams is running football. These are two great running defenses, and it has been a slugfest. It's been very, very intense. Some teams have had opportunities to take advantage of them on both sides of the ball. But what a second half we're going to have.
No question about it. Speaking of highlights, one of them a run, one of them a pass. Let's take a look of the only two scoring plays in the first half. And a surprise starter, and Taylor made the most of it, didn't he?
Well, this is the quarterback off tackle play. It's very well blocked up front on a 4th and 2, and Taylor takes it to the distance to give West Georgia a quick 7-0 lead. And boy, what a great throw by Luke Wingo to Hall to even this thing up at 7-7.
Yeah, and really a great execution, as you mentioned. There's the numbers, Coach, as you go down them. Obviously, not the kind of yardage you're used to seeing between these two.
Well, very even the stat that really stands out right there is that 3 turnovers for UNA. Yeah. Pretty hard to win a football game if that continues. And of course, another big stat that's not on there is West Georgia hasn't done a whole lot with those turnovers either.
That's right. That's one of the things about it. It's one thing to turn it over. It's another thing to what you do with it. Those are your highlights from the first half, along with your stats. Second half is coming up between UNA and West Georgia. You expect any adjustments here?
Oh, I'm sure there'll be some adjustments. I'm not sure what they'll be, but no, you know,
or if they'll work.
No, you know, I think what both teams are going to try to do is to try to get something big off of those run fakes. You know, those defenses are packed in so tight that I think that, and frankly, I've been a little surprised that we haven't seen a little more of that. You know, Will Hall over the years has been a master at coming off of run fakes and throwing some pretty sophisticated play action routes for big, huge yards. We haven't seen any of that tonight. You know, as a matter of fact, in third down situations, we've seen really nothing but run. Same thing for UNA, although they have been a little bit more diversified offensively than the Wolves have been. But, you know, I think somebody's going to have to gouge a big one here to kind of bust this thing open.
It's got the second half coming up from here in Florence, Alabama, and it should be a dandy. West Georgia and number 3, UNA. Great crowd here in Florence tonight. They've seen a 7-7 ball game. Back out on the field with Coach Bobby Wallace, and now West Georgia just now coming from its locker room down to the right corner from our vision here in the press box, and they'll be taking the field shortly. And And Luke Wingo took that hit in the first half, went out for a few plays, and fortunately came back after that. And
it appears to be fine.
Yep.
Boy, I'd like to have a conversation with that young man right now, just to ask, just a couple of questions. Don't mean that critical at all,
No,
just out of curiosity. Believe me, I know Will Hall pretty well. He knows what he's doing.
Well, of course, he's been known as the vest in the D2, GSC, and he's got the blue vest on tonight. Of course, his West Georgia Wolves, their only loss was that conference loss at VSU, and of course, they were flirting in the top 25 as well, and that's their only loss of the year. Of course, they have their own destiny they can control, as you mentioned too, Rick.
Well, as we've said, this is such a huge game from both perspectives. Because the winner of this game is in the driver's seat.
Right.
UNA still has to play Delta State, and that's certainly a huge game. But if UNA gets past this, they're still unbeaten. If West Georgia gets past this, they only have one loss, and they will have beaten all but Valdosta of the quote top teams in this conference. So the stakes could be much higher.
Layman Howlington ready to kick it away for West Georgia. This kickoff sponsored by Florida Space Coast, Orlando's closest beaches, Titusville, Cocoa Beach. Beautiful area, Palm Beach. Taken by Marshall inside the 5, trying to get to the edge. And good containment on that side by the special teams play of the Wolves. Tackle made by number 30, DJ Jackson. He's involved in a lot of special teams plays.
Yeah, and again, as we saw earlier, that coverage unit pins UNA around the 20-yard line.
And there is Luke Wingo. Missed a couple of plays after getting hit hard when he completed a pass.
Decent numbers for the first half. Of course, the thing that stands out to you from a negative standpoint is that far right-hand column, those 2 interceptions.
And there's only been 3 total on the season by UNA, so that's a little unusual for the Lions to turn it over that way. Simmons gets all the way to the 27 and then tries to turn it up and gets a few more yards.
Yeah, it was a nice foot race as the edge was set between the ball carrier and the safety running the alley, and at that time enough speed to get to the edge and get a nice 6-yard gain.
And Zed Brown made the tackle from his strong safety position. Gain of about 6. We'll call it second down and 4 from the 27-yard line. Simmons again gets the carry and breaks forward to the 35 and has the UNA first down.
Now that was the split zone play where the offensive line blocks zone to the right, and the fullback, you'll see him, watch, he'll cross in front of Wingo and block the backside in. A nice job of inside runnings by Simmons, and I think we're seeing Simmons more tonight than we've seen him at any time that we've been doing these broadcasts over the last 2 or 3 years, and he's been very effective.
No doubt about it. Came into the game with 33 carries on the season. Wingo is caught by the ankle and he's pulled down. Caldwell, number 9, came in there to make the stop. Darius Caldwell, defensive end, a junior out of Atlanta.
Well, UNA has had very little success throwing the ball underneath tonight. This time, as you can see, Wingo takes a quick look to his left, tries to go back to the right. West Georgia's 3 over 2 on a little combination curl route to that side, and really just nowhere to go with the ball. Another coverage sack.
2nd and 14 after the loss, back to the 31 of the Lions. Caldwell at that defensive end position, had 26 tackles before tonight. Wingo fires this one, complete to Hall. Hall with the first down and then some into Wolf territory to the 44. And I tell you, it's not only Dre Hall with the catch, it's what he does after he catches the football.
Very much so, and that time West Georgia's defense looked at what they call an overload set, which is 4 guys to one side. They rolled the safety down to the strong side. The curl snuck in right behind it for a big play.
And Wingo, a big play right up the middle as he'll take it to the 30 straight ahead. Nice read that time by Wingo, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's the speed sweep read. If the defensive end widens, the quarterback keeps it. You can see the wide motion right here to diamond, and the ball is pulled as the end gets upfield, and a nice inside blocking and great read by that young man, Luke Wingo.
Wingo looks down the right side, and it's caught by Taj Kimball at the 2. Kimball comes up with a big-time play there. Transfer from Boston College.
Well, they wheel Kimball out of the backfield right down the sideline, and what a great throw by Wingo to put the ball right on the money, and great concentration by Kimball as well to haul that thing in. Really just a tremendously executed play off the play action fake.
Now we have penalty flags everywhere. UNA was trying to run some personnel in quickly to get the play off. A substitution infraction.
Substitution on the defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
So now they get some yardage the easy way.
Yeah, West Georgia tried to make some substitutions while UNA was lining up. The defense can substitute if the offense substitutes. No offensive substitution, 12 men on the field, thus the penalty.
Sheldon Lewis from defense in there is a big blocker. And Kimball tries to go right behind him, and I'm not sure he got in. They brought in a defensive player, and number 52 was leading the way.
Now, West Georgia is saying that there may be maybe an injury. Yeah, it looks like an injury.
Yeah, the injury to a player in the end zone.
Is that Freeman?
It's hard to see from this angle.
One of the adjustments that UNA has made since Wingo's had his injury, you know, before they would line up in that overset and Wingo would run the ball off tackle. Since his injury, you can see they brought in a big defensive lineman and then gave it off to their power back to try to pound it in that way.
We'll take a break. 12:03 remaining in the third. It's West Georgia 7 and UNA 7. We'll be right back.
I need my space. I need my space to call my own. Space for galaxies of fun. Space for splashing in the sun.
Find your space on Florida's Space Coast. Home to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, 72 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches, and Florida Tech football. Florida Space Coast, your space for fun.
At UWG, I'm getting the kind of experience that most people only dream of. And you're not limited to just one thing. That's why I'm going west.
Make your mark. The University of West Georgia. Go West.
Every season starts with hope and a dream to play for the ultimate title, to become NCAA national champions. And you can experience it live at the 2014 NCAA Division II Football Championship, December 20th at Sporting Park in Kansas City, hosted by the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association and Kansas City Sports Commission. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/tickets today and make a date with champions.
Heating and cooling, plumbing, electrical. Scholl's MPE is your one-call solution for installation and maintenance of every major brand. And during September, we're offering HVAC inspections for only $59.99. Plus, we provide free estimates scheduled at your convenience because we know how busy you are. Make running your home or office easier and check out SchollsMPE.com for all our specials. Scholl's MPE, one call does it all.
Well, the injury to Teeler, they're going to check him out, but now we got a couple of big guys in there blocking, maybe for Wingo here, Coach. And they are. And Wingo scores 52-90.
You know, you had a slight hint that since he was the only guy in the backfield that ever carried a ball before, maybe it was going to be him. But, you know, they had some beef up there now.
Lewis and Carney.
Carney at 267 and Lewis at 250, and they rolled that pile out of there to put UNA in the lead for the first time tonight.
That's right. That is the 4th rushing touchdown this season for Wingo. He threw a 6 touchdown pass tonight. And as you look from your living room, Taylor Pontius puts it through. And the Lions now have scored the last 14.
Kind of reminds me of that old Wendy's commercial, Where's the Beef? 52-90 leading Wingo up in there. And he had to feel pretty secure. There wasn't much finesse to that play, though.
No.
I mean, when the numbers next to you are 52-90, I'm probably going to carry the ball.
He just kind of watched him go and then jumped on the back and rode him in. Wingo.
That's an impressive drive by
wasn't it?
UNA to start the half now.
8 plays, 79 yards. 3 minutes and 6 seconds, as you see right there. Wingo taking it the final yard.
Well, you know, that's what you want as a coach. I mean, you're in a dogfight all the way. You come out the second half, you take that ball and you ram it right down the field. And of course, the wheel route, you know, to Kimball was a huge play in this, but really a very well executed drive. And as we said, puts UNA on top for the first time tonight.
I know when we had a chance to talk to Cody Grossen when they brought Kimball in and understanding of how he would be used, and boy, has he been a key part of it.
Yeah, and a real unselfish guy. You know, he could have gone someplace else and maybe been the marquee back, whatever that is. But he's coming here and he's been a real big part of this team effort. And of course, he wants to win a championship.
Pontius kicks this one deep again. Appling will watch it hit in the end zone and not be able to return it. And other than that first kick by Taylor Pontius tonight, as you see him pick up his tee and leave the field, he's been a good weapon against the return.
But even on that one, you don't want to kick the ball out of bounds, but that's still another situation where Appling did not get to touch the ball. They've kicked off 3 times tonight. Appling, arguably the best kickoff returner in the country, has not touched the ball yet.
Well, once again, if you joined us a little bit late, Dallas Dickey, the normal starter, has not played tonight. Emmanuel Taylor, the senior, has taken every snap tonight in this game for West Georgia. And we'll take this snap here. And he's going to keep it and run it out to the 34-yard line, about an 8-yard pickup. He's been their best runner tonight.
He has, and of course, you know, that's the zone read right there. The end did go inside to take the dive, but the flat defender's sitting out there. But Taylor is a good enough athlete to negotiate that for an extra 4 or 5 yards to pick up a nice 7-yard gain.
He had 20 rushes for 9 yards and no touchdowns before tonight. And that has changed. Hensley gets the call and falls forward for the first down and then some. Out to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line.
Nice, good, tough running inside, but those yards have been tough to come for him tonight. Now, there haven't been many holes for him to spit through cleanly.
Now, he only needed 16 yards to get to the 2,000-yard career mark at West Georgia. And not much at all this time for Hensley. On the bottom of that pile, big number 91, Tyler Smith. Well, he does have 40 yards, so he has reached that 2,000 career mark. Puts him 5th on the all-time rushing list at UWG.
Yeah, he's all-conference player. He's had a great career there.
Yep. 2nd and 9. Play fake by Taylor. Now he wants to throw and does. Has a man open. Appling. Appling inside the 20. Appling for the touchdown for West Georgia.
Well, this is about the 4th time that West Georgia has tried to slip in somebody out of the backfield to get a big one downfield. That time it worked.
Appling picks up his 3rd touchdown reception. And watch this play again, Coach.
Well, you can see Appling to the right side of your screen tries to spit out of the backfield. He stumbles a little bit at the line of scrimmage, but the defense loses him just momentarily, and Appling has such great speed that he's able to get behind the coverage. Nice throw right there by Taylor, and we got a new ball game.
Yep. And it looked like Triplett, the weak side linebacker, was on the coverage, and that was no contest.
He's not gonna run with that young man.
Nope. And a long touchdown pass by Emmanuel Taylor to Denarius Appling, the senior out of Griffin, Georgia. 14-14 here in Florence. We'll be back.
I need my space. I need my space to call my own. Space for galaxies of fun. I
your space on Florida's Space Coast. Home to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, 72 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches, and Florida Tech Football. Florida Space Coast, your space for fun.
At UWG, I'm getting the kind of experience that most people only dream of. And you're not limited to just one thing. That's why I'm going west.
Make your mark. The University of West Georgia. Go West.
Every season starts with hope and a dream to play for the ultimate title, to become NCAA national champions. And you can experience it live at the 2014 NCAA Division II Football Championship, December 20th at Sporting Park in Kansas City, hosted by the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association and Kansas City Sports Commission. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/tickets today and make a date with champions.
Heating and cooling, plumbing, electrical. Scholl's MPE is your one-call solution for installation and maintenance of every major brand. And during September, we're offering HVAC inspections for only $59.99. Plus, we provide free estimates scheduled at your convenience because we know how busy you are. Make running your home or office easier and check out SchollsMPE.com for all our specials. Scholl's MPE, one call does it all.
Well, Taylor gets the touchdown pass, and Denarius Appling, the recipient. And here it is again, Coach.
Well, you're going to see Appling coming right at you to the left of your screen, number 18, and you can see Xavier Triplett is trying to run with him. That's a linebacker on a running back. Appling was lined up as the tailback, spit right through the guard tackle gap, and from there was a foot race, and really Triplett had no chance to run with that young man. Result is a 62-yard TD reception, as you see, and we're back tied again, partner.
And that scoring drive, a quick one. Marshall's going to take this one at the 13. Breaks the tackle and gets a nice return out to about the 34. And that's where the offense for UNA will go right back to work. Of course, West Georgia did that one pretty quick, only 4 plays, so their defense is right back out there, but I'm sure they're a little rejuvenated a bit.
At this point, they don't mind, I can assure you. And I think it shows you the quality of these two teams now. You know, UNA came out and made a statement to take control of the game in the second half, and West Georgia came right back and answered with a big play. And you know, those impact plays are going to be more important as this thing goes on.
Boy, Wingo hands it off to Thompson this time, and he gets nowhere. I mean, he got smacked.
He ran into a brick wall.
Yeah.
By the name of Dalvin Stuckey. And I mean, it looked like a fly hitting a windshield.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I say that respectfully.
Yeah, I know.
That guy plays big right there.
He fills some space, doesn't he? Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Wingo swings this one out to Simmons. Simmons maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
You know, swung that thing out on the weak side, trying to get a one-on-one situation, but a nice open field tackle by the West Georgia secondary.
If you joined us late, it was a 7-0 lead for West Georgia. They scored on their first possession. The Lions tied it up before the half, then took the lead at 14-7, and now just after that Appling touchdown reception, we're now knotted at 14.
In this situation, they've had a lot better success trying to throw the ball vertically than they have trying to dink and dump underneath. Let's see what they do here.
And there it goes to Thompson in the first down. Give West Georgia a little bit of their own medicine there.
Yeah, they're going down deep in the playbook now. This is a little running back delay out of the backfield. Thompson is going to set up like he's going to block just for half a count, let the underneath coverage spread out, and then he splits that thing really quick and a nice throw by Wingo.
1st and 10 at the 48. Simmons trying to get a block wide, and boy, he is wrapped up again. Corey gains the free safety. He missed 1 tackle tonight, but other than that, he has been solid.
That's a good open field tackle. That's not easy to do with those backs as shifty as they are to bring them down in the open field.
Good look at Gaines.
Well, this is the zone read again, and you can see the quarterback is taken.
Yeah.
Pretty good shot right there. But you know, he still is a part of the play and is a potential ball carrier.
No question.
And he is fair game.
And he expects it. 2nd and 9. Ball just shy of midfield. Wingo trying to ad-lib here and throws it underneath. Thompson can't hang on. Had it momentarily. Covering on the play with Sales.
Yeah, just the, you know, combination routes of curls and flat routes to stretch underneath coverage. Really, UNA has had very little success with that. The West Georgia drops have been spot on. So obviously they've done their homework. They've had much better success with vertical routes, backs out of the backfield, things of that nature. Hadn't seen many screens.
Nope.
Be interesting to see what that would do.
Wingo, a little quarterback draw. Trying to get to the edge, flag down on the play, and he's not going anywhere. Once again, great pursuit. Singleton, number 34, the first guy to get there.
Looks like we might have a hold on UNA, but this shows you how good the West Georgia defense is. They brought a blitz.
Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Correction. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Just to finish my thought, Don, they brought a blitz from the wide side of the field, and really it was a perfect call. It was a little quarterback draw back to the other side. I thought West Georgia was going to be a man short, but they really collapsed and retraced very well, forced Wingo to bounce, and that pursuit of the West Georgia defense pulled him down.
Now, Pontius was getting it ready to punt away to Appling. Now they're going to have to, I think, reset the play clock, and now they do. There's Pontius, outstanding place kicker and punter for UNA.
Looks like West Georgia will set up a return.
High kick, Appling calls for and makes the fair catch at the 13.
Yeah, not much of a chance there, really. They just played defense, made sure the ball was kicked. Appling took the fair catch, and North Alabama was able to flip the field pretty well, if nothing else.
Take a look at some scores. Florida Tech with a win over Mississippi College. Valdosta over Shorter.
A little bit surprised that the Delta State-West Alabama game is that one-sided. I thought it might be a little bit closer game. West Alabama looked like they may be hitting their stride last week. The first two scores probably about what we thought.
Yeah, 2 finals and a 3rd quarter score. Of course, Will Hall came from West Alabama, where he shared a couple of championships. There's Appling. He's been getting the carries, and he gets to the corner and is going to get the first down out to the 31. And again, this is a young man that we remember last year was injured in an accident and didn't think he might even play again.
Well, this is the read speed sweep, and you can see that actually number 7 for North Alabama is in a position to make a play, and Appling just blows by him. He shows you that great speed he has.
Appling, a senior out of Griffin, Georgia. Good kick returner. And punt return from the 31. Now the reverse to Appling, and there he goes. Boy, is he running hard tonight. Across the 50, down to the 48 of UNA.
Well, there's 2 kind of reverses that people run. One is where you try to fool everybody on the field, and the other is when you try to block the contained guy left by a good defense, and that was the kind you saw right there. A very well executed play by West Georgia as they had a blocker for the contained guy, and Appling cut that thing up in there for a huge game.
And a big first down inside UNA territory now at the 48. Low snap. Taylor picks it up. Flag on the play, and Taylor runs for the first down, but we'll have to check out the penalty marker. You know, West Georgia last week.
Offense, number 68.
There it is, preliminary
10-yard
holding.
penalty.
It's going to be
Replay
on Awa Du Bois, the left guard. But they won. They swept the conference honors. Offensive player of the week, defensive player of the week, And Sales was special teams player of the week with a block punt.
Yeah, they hit the trifecta, and of course that penalty now turns a first down in UNA territory into a first and 20 back on their own 42-yard line. That's a pretty costly penalty.
And they have both Orion and Quincy Awa Du Bois at left guard and center, brothers out of Oxnard, California. And nothing on this play.
Yeah, tried to just run the inside zone right there. Looked like maybe there might have been a little bit of a backside cutback right there, but Hensley decided to just plow straight ahead and not much going there.
Triplett and Shaquille Smith combined on that stop. Second down and 20 from the 42. 14 all with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter here in Florence, Alabama, Brawley Stadium. Don Russell with Rick Rhodes. Glad you joined us on ESPN3 in the Gulf South Conference, presented by Florida Space Coast. Taylor wants to throw it downfield and way over the head of Shaq Hall, the intended receiver.
Well, they came off that quarterback run fake and set up, and they had Hall on a deep crosser. They had him between the hashes for really a big gain, but Taylor held the ball really too long, and then tried to muscle up on it. The ball just sailed on him right there.
Nick Johnson.
Ball thrown earlier on time, he was open. He had a lot of grass.
Nick Johnson was on the coverage. 3rd and 20. 3 of 8 on third downs, West Georgia tonight. In this 14-14 game. Taylor, good protection, fires right into the hands of a defender. Picked off by Floyd Jones. And Jones with the interception, his 3rd of the year.
Well, that's just a bad throw, and mechanically, the thing you always want your quarterback to do is load up from the backside. And as this game has gone on, Taylor's gotten more and more on his front side and really almost try to wind up and throw. And when you do that, that ball's going to sail. He had that open for a first down, but the ball is way over the intended receiver's head. Nice heads-up play by that young man, and UNA is knocking on the door.
14-14 after the pick, 5:34 left in the third. Nice pick by Floyd Jones there, 14-14. And Rick, we've seen some good play by Emmanuel Taylor. But he hadn't been on the money all the time on his passes.
No, he really has tried to, I don't know about rushing throws, but just mechanically, he really has not gotten off his backside, as we see a reverse this time by UNA.
Yep. And a nice run inside the 25-yard line. That was number 80, Jarrett Smith.
Well, I'll see your reverse and I'll raise you one. And we got another white jersey down.
Back at the 40. And Jared Smith, a junior out of Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, this injury right at the 40. Oh, we've had some people make some big plays of the non-starter variety, but both these teams have some depth. We've seen it from UNA every time we've seen them.
Yeah, and of course, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but from a football standpoint, I mean, this is starting to cut into some of West Georgia's depth as well. You know, we saw a shot of Teeter earlier.
Yep.
They're a good defensive lineman that looks like he's going to be out. Looks like he had either an air cast or ice on a lower extremity. And I saw that number 9, Darius Caldwell, came off. Looked like he was shook up just a little bit. And
there's
now,
Teeter.
Yep. And now I can't see who this is on the ground, but you know, they're pulling that big toe up as we look at Teeter, who is obviously done for the night. You always hate to see that.
Yeah.
And it looks like maybe this is I don't know, maybe even a cramp. They're pulling the toes up towards the head. That's usually what that is, but that usually doesn't stay out there quite that long with that many people around if it's just that. So.
Carlos Hutton, the safety, the rover back.
Yeah, and that's a key guy now. He's the defensive player of the week in the GSC last week and second in the league in interceptions and a real key member of their secondary. If he's out for very long, that could certainly hurt him.
He had 2 interceptions last week, one right at the goal line, one in the end zone to stop potential scores by Delta State.
And don't be surprised if UNA goes right at his replacement.
Wingo wants to try to run it and falls forward to the 21 on the first down play.
Still tough going between the tackles, and I really couldn't tell whether he was trying to go downfield with the ball or whether that was a called quarterback draw.
Well, you're right, Rick. On both sides, the big guys have really made it difficult inside the tackles. This time Wingo takes a good read and is knocked down hard again, but he takes it down to the 7. Curtis Lindsey with a hard hit.
Well, the thing that happens with this diamond formation right here is you have an extra back, and that extra back blocks the flat defender. So you read the end, you have a blocker for the flat defender plus a pitch back. Very difficult play to defend, and that time executed very well by Wingo.
Thompson back in the backfield. And he tries to go wide, and once again, that speed. Really, really big play by Alex Arma again.
Well, both teams have read those outside runs so very well on just conventional base plays. To get outside, both teams have had to go to different formations, reverses, things of that nature. These defenses have forced both teams to go deep in their playbooks.
Not only they stop it, it's always lost yard.
Yeah.
Loss of
those edge guys
6 here.
They're getting upfield very, very quickly.
Now you're going to go north and south with Lamonte Thompson.
Well, there's that diamond formation again, and that time that cross action with that lead back, blocked in man in the split zone was the play. That 3-back set is very, very complicated for a defense. It gives you a lot of different looks, a lot of misdirection, and a lot of different plays look relatively the same when the ball is snapped.
Well, they had the lost yardage, and now they get a lot of it back, and it's 3rd and 6. Actually, it's 3rd and goal from the 6.
Now, from this set right here, there's been a lot of quarterback power. Now they've changed up right here, so that should change that.
And now Bobby Wallace going to take a timeout.
Looks like there was some confusion in the backfield.
Yep.
Timeout. North Alabama.
Get the signal quite.
That is their first. This will be 30 seconds.
Tuned, so.
Wingo kept looking over to the sideline, and the clock's going down. And Bobby, we don't want another 5 yards here. Let's take a look at the standings in the league.
I'm
now,
sorry.
Coach.
Well, there you see it. You know, it's still a long way to go in this one. Of course, UNA is on top. We talked about the implications of this game. Delta State is going to keep pace with what will apparently be a win over West Alabama. Valdosta State, those 2 losses certainly hurt them, but they're playing very well right now. West Georgia, if they can win this one, it's a huge statement for them. Those are probably the teams that are in the national picture at this point. Certainly if West Alabama loses, they'll be out of it. Florida Tech, with those 2 losses, is going to have to finish strong. They're going to need a big win down the stretch. But it's still a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I think I said a lot of words that didn't really solve many problems there, partner.
That's a good timeout, too. You don't want to give some yardage back here. You already lost 7 on the first down play.
Well, Wingo almost let the guy I coached and I gave the steal to when I coached baseball looked at me, shook his head, and said no. So.
Wingo back out there. He has Thompson to his left. Going to throw it toward the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Carpenter.
Very interesting. Well, this is a very interesting goal line fade right here. Usually you try to throw the thing up and over, but this thing almost was kind of thrown into a hole behind the coverage guy. And of course, down there in the goal line, you're not going to try to have any space behind you. And a very difficult throw to try to hook up on. And this is going to lead to the field goal situation.
Vaison on the coverage. The 23-yard field goal for Pontius. And it's on the way, and it's good. So the Lions wanted 7, but they have to settle for 3. And it makes it a 17-14 ball game. Well, I'd like to remind everybody about social media and the GSC. Fans can follow the Gulf South Conference on Twitter and Facebook. Visit twitter.com/Gulf South to begin receiving updates on conference news, weekly awards, championships. Followers with a Facebook account can become a fan of the GSC by visiting facebook.com/the Gulf South Conference. That drive ended in the field goal of 23 yards, 7 plays, 37 yards, 225.
Real good drive by North Alabama to get points on the board. Nice goal line defense by West Georgia to hold it to 3. So.
Yep. Lane Thompson, the deep man, back on this kickoff.
Now, Appling is still in the middle of the field. If I was him, I'd be standing by the pylon over there on the left-hand side.
And it's going to be way deep again. Another good job by Taylor Pontius.
And I'm going to say again, do not sell short the effect of keeping the ball away from that young man on these kickoff returns.
Yep, no doubt about it. I mean, they've basically taken that out of the game as a factor. Kickoff returns.
You know, if UNA has kicked off, say, 4 times, if Appling, who averages about 40 yards a return, that's 15 yards. I mean, that's 60 yards of field position. That's the equivalent of holding them to, less than 60 yards of rushing yards. I don't know if that made any sense, but I know that foot has been really big in this game.
Emmanuel Taylor has been Will Hall's quarterback the entire game. We have to assume something's injured with Dallas Dickey, and we just really don't know about it. Here's Appling again. He makes a nice move, lost the ball. Scramble for it. Boy, Appling had it stripped, didn't he?
Well, he was still going, but the ball stayed in town. And I don't know who it was, but there's a white helmet that got on that ball pretty quick. Looks like it might have been number 46.
That's Hensley, Isaiah Hensley, fullback.
He knows how to recover a fumble now.
Yeah,
he was a defensive player.
Yeah. So 2nd and 6. Here it is again, Coach, like you mentioned.
And you can see he tries to make a little outside move. The ball just really squirts loose.
Yeah.
And Hensley right there on top of it to save the day for West Georgia.
Hensley tries to break through and come maybe a yard or so shy of the first down.
Pretty good push up front. Nice, 4 or 5 yard play. Bring up this 3rd and 1. Now, who knows? We're going to see the quarterback run. Are we going to see Hensley? Are we going to see a play action pass? I mean, they've done it all here on 3rd and short.
Well, it's 3rd and 1 here from the 34 of West Georgia. 2 minutes to go in the third. And straight ahead for the first down. And that's Emmanuel Taylor.
It's 2 plays in a row where the West Georgia offensive line has gotten a good push. You know, that's just the off-tackle play with the quarterback carrying the football with 2 lead blockers. We've seen that a bunch tonight.
See Will Hall, the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, as we mentioned, first-team All-American here at UNA. First year as the head coach at West Georgia.
Of course, as they look to the sideline, the box is giving them a different play based on the defensive look.
And now they need a timeout.
And somebody's not very
Timeout.
happy over there in a blue vest.
West Georgia.
Yep, you can,
That
I
is
can
their
hear
first.
them yell,
This will be a
timeout,
30-second.
timeout. Because instead of 1st and 10, we were looking at 1st and 15.
You know, we've not seen a lot of full blitzes from either team to this point. We've seen a lot of interior line stunts and a lot of upfield movement pressure by the defensive interiors. And these 2 defensive lines have lived up to the advanced billing. They've both been very difficult for those big offensive linemen to deal with.
Well, they certainly have. Well, Bobby Wallace, about what we expected, as he told us, he thought it would be a knockdown dragout. And the winningest coach in Gulf South Conference history, as you see right there.
Well, he passed Coach Williams about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And of course, his record speaks for itself.
Over 100 wins here.
Heck of a coach.
Here's a completion to Hall. Shaq Hall's been the target a couple of times. This first one has actually been close to him to catch, and he makes the first down grab.
Well, if I can just be a quarterback coach here for a minute, you know, that time you saw what happened. You'll see right here, Taylor loads up that backside and drives off that back foot. And that ball doesn't sail, oh, that's right on the money. That was a little read route, I think, to the outside. If he could get over the top, he was going to do it. When the UNA corner sank, he snapped it down, and the ball's right on the money for a nice first down.
He moves it out to midfield, under a minute to go in the third. Some movement in that defensive front for UNA. Taylor, flush from the pocket, and goes down after a gain of about 3. Jackson again came up, C.J. Jackson.
Yeah, I tell you, I really thought Taylor was going to spit it out for a big gain, but C.J. Jackson showed some wheels now. Those pink socks were moving pretty fast, and he ran that thing down for only about a 3-4 yard gain.
Call it 2nd and 7. And Taylor's going to run this one straight ahead. And he gets the first down to the 26. Boy, when he finds the opening, he knows where to go. Longest run since the touchdown run by Taylor.
Yeah, and you know, UNA was stemming their front a little bit and moving in and out. I'm not sure that West Georgia didn't catch him just a little bit.
That is the end of the third quarter.
That'll take us to the end of our third quarter. 17-14 UNA and West Georgia. Fourth quarter coming right up. GSC TV on ESPN3 is brought to you all season by Florida Space Coast, Orlando's closest beaches. By the Gulf South Conference, compete, impact, graduate. And presented locally by Shoals MPE. One call does it all. Beautiful shot of Braley Municipal Stadium here in Florence, Alabama. ESPN3's coverage of the Gulf South Conference. Will Hall's team starting the fourth with some momentum too.
Yeah, the very impressive drive that they've put together now. In past years, when they get down close to this red zone right here, a lot of play action. Tight end has been a factor.
This time they're going to bring the option to the near side to Appling. And he is pushed out of bounds after a gain of a couple of yards.
First time we've seen the straight lead option tonight, and of course, with Taylor handling the ball and with Appling as his pitchback, that's a lot of speed on the edge right there. Very tough to defend, but UNA did a nice job of holding that to 4 yards.
Yeah, Jalen Reedus, the free safety, played it perfectly, didn't he?
Make that 2 yards, partner. I gave him too much.
Yeah, both of these teams can cover from sideline to sideline. That's for sure. Appling trying to get to the edge, gets one block, and it's going to be close, and I think has the first down. Boy, he has been the most impressive rusher tonight, and now he like he may have injured himself. Ankle.
Yeah, it looks like it may be an ankle.
Cramp, one or the other.
Well, you hope from not wanting an injury to any player that it's just a cramp. This is, again, the outside speed sweep. And you see at the bottom of the screen, the number's 28. That's Alex McCauley, who did a great job of pinning the flat defender to the inside. And Appling's able to bounce it outside and pick up a nice first down. But comes up a little bit lame. And hopefully he'll get up and get moving around.
Looked like when he made that move, Rick, it kind of turned it in a very unnatural manner. Yep. I mean, he gets up, and that's what Appling has done today. That not only the rushing yardage, but that 69-yard touchdown catch.
You know, and he's as explosive as any player in this league. You know, that's over 7.5 yards a carry plus the big catch. So he takes a seat.
1st and 10 from the 17 for West Georgia. The Wolves trying to take the lead again. They led it at 7-0. Good protection, fire to the end zone, way over the head of McCauley. Double coverage over there that time. Marshall was one of the guys there.
Well, it's a shame that from a West Georgia standpoint, they didn't have the backside wheel route to Seth Hensley coming out of the backfield, because he was wide open right out of the backside. There wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him. Would have been an easy touchdown, but chose to go to the front side. Brings up this 2nd and 10.
From the 17. Play clock down to 5. A lot of penetration, but look at the resilience of Taylor. Boy, he took a play that looked to be a negative one, Coach, and takes it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the read zone and all that stuff. What this is just a great individual effort by Emmanuel Taylor. He breaks at least 3 tackles on there, and just by really sheer force of will, gets that thing in the end zone.
That's his 2nd touchdown rushing tonight. That'll bring on Hunter Heck to bring the 21st point on the board, if possible. And the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. Well, Emmanuel Taylor, he made a play that looked like was not going to get anything. Just watch him here, Coach. 21-17. That's what he can do. That's what he can do.
Gulf South Conference is focused on the student athlete and supporting its 12-member institutions by competing for regional and national championships, graduating student athletes at the highest rate, and impacting its community in a meaningful way. Headquartered in Birmingham, the GSC features a dynamic blend of public and private institutions. Its members and student athletes represent the very best in the NCAA. Compete, graduate, impact. The Gulf South Conference.
At VSU, we're fired up. We spark intellect on a cool campus in a hot college town. We fan the spirit with national championships and fuel your fun side. Valdosta State University, ignite!
Being an athlete, you have to have a really strong mind.
Then I realized I gotta get to work and I want to be successful someday. So
Just become, that person that you want to be because you've worked so hard.
Knowing what to get done when to get up extra shots, when to read a little deeper into your chapter.
And show my team that I'm here to lead them.
hard work that's put into it, all the dreaming about it, and it finally becomes reality. It's pretty special.
Well, Emmanuel Taylor now 14 rushes, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. And we now have found out officially Dallas Dickey not playing tonight because of a hip wound.
Well, of course, he is able to negotiate that hard mesh charge and then breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then breaks another one right at the secondary. Those feet never stop. And really, sometimes it just comes down to a test of will. At that time, Emmanuel Taylor had his way, and what a spectacular run to give the Wolves the lead once again.
Yep. First time they've had the lead since it was 7-0. Been playing catch up since then, but not by much. Here's a return to the near side to the 24. And racked up hard after that return by Jarrett Smith. Jamari James, reserve safety, made the stop. Now UNA's turn, Coach, to try to answer the bell.
Got to answer. And it looks like that the offenses have started to take, a little bit more control. Maybe they've figured out just a little bit. And as we said, UNA's turn to answer.
Wingo hands it off to DeMonte Thompson. DeMonte fights for a couple of yards.
One of the things you teach defensive linemen is to strike a blow, take control of blockers, play your gap, slide the football. And both these defensive lines between the tackles have done a great job of that. There have not been many long runs at all tonight between the tackle, with the exception of a couple that Taylor's been able to spit out on quarterback keepers.
Alex Armah made that stop again defensively. Here's a pass out to Thompson. And after a lot of work, he picks up maybe a yard or two.
Well, and usually when he gets in the open field, he's able to negotiate some yards when he breaks that first tackle. He does slip the first one, but that defensive interior does a great job of, the old pursuit drill. That's what it looked like. They got out there 3 or 4 white shirts and held that thing really to a very, very short game.
Dalvon Stuckey again made the stop defensively, 3rd and long. Wingo fires, Mayhall catches, first down Lions to the 43. Jamari James has to make the stop, and he's down on the play.
Well, Mayhall is going to run a deep, deep inside slant route, and he's going to clear the first window to the outside of number 40, and the ball is thrown to the inside window, and really a great throw and great concentration by Mayhall to make the catch there.
And it was James who made the hit, who's injured after the catch by Lee Mayhall. And tell you, he's made some big plays, and looks like it's his shoulder. You're not playing a doctor up here, but seen that a bunch of times, haven't you?
Normally when the right arm is moving normally and the left one is down around your knees, it's usually your shoulder. Great concentration by that young man right there to make that catch.
Yes, it was.
You kind of see the physicalness of this game now. We've had a lot of people come off the field, and again, this is starting to hurt West Georgia's depth a good bit.
12.5 minutes and change remaining. UNA down by 4, but on the move from their own 44. Wingo completes this one out to the right side. That's Dejon Dukes making the catch. Curtis Lindsey on the stops. Dukes a freshman from Louisville.
This runs a little 8-yard turn-in route, and the West Georgia flat defender is inside in the box and run support. Go underneath coverage right there, and it's really easy pickings and a nice throw and catch.
2nd down and 3. And on the keeper, nowhere to go for Wingo. He ran into Alex Armand again.
Well, of course, on this read outside zone play, you're trying to read the end, but that time the end read the quarterback, and he won that one. Fooled Wingo. Wingo tried to keep it, and Armand would have none of it. He was right there to make the play for a loss.
Slater gave a little help on that play as well. Now 3rd down and 4. Just shy of midfield for the Lions of UNA. They're going to have a procedure, I believe.
Got somebody in purple that moved.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I think it might have been 14.
Yeah, I think it was Dukes instead of 4. That's right. Had half of it, right?
Well,
that's one of the numbers. Now it's 3rd and 10, back to the 44. They're coming after Wingo, and he just tries to throw it away and threw a pick.
Question is, does he come down with his feet inbounds?
We'll have to wait and see. I don't think so. Caldwell.
Well, the referee in the blue vest and the white shirt says he was clearly in, but the guy in the striped shirt says no. I wonder who's going to win that one.
Oh, Will Hall jumped about 4 feet in the air.
I think Wingo was probably trying to throw it away, but when you want to throw it away, you want to throw it away. And but nevertheless, a nice series defensively for West Georgia. And again, those underneath routes just covered up.
He was clearly out. There's a punt. Appling's going to just let it roll. And it'll be downed at the 16-yard line. Take it to 17. And so now the Wolves will have the possession with the lead.
This is the most crucial drive in this game to this point right here.
Because it's been like tennis, who's going to hold serve.
West Georgia would like nothing more than to turn this into a two-score game, which they could do with points on the board with a touchdown in this series. And UNA is looking for a turnover.
Of course, North Alabama ranked 3rd nationally in Division II, undefeated overall, and of course in league play. Taylor's going to keep it again, and this time he's smacked right at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Reedus. Boy, I tell you, that free safety comes up in a hurry.
Yeah, both secondaries here are very, very active. That time the replay got read pretty good. Look at the size difference in here, and Taylor Carney, who is the leader of the UNA defense, is about 267 pounds.
Right.
Which is pretty good size, but he's lined up on West Georgia's right side, and he looks like somebody's little brother.
Yeah, we got 320, 310, 335.
He's on Garrison Ussery, who's listed at 335, and I bet that's before lunch.
Appling, he tries to go wide. And this time Quad Freeman breaks through.
Nice upfield charge right there. Again on an outside replay. Oh, what a big down this is.
Freeman came into the game with 17 tackles. Now it's 3rd and 14 from the 13. Crowd on its feet here at Brawley Stadium, encouraging the UNA defense. Taylor rolls right, getting chased, throws on the run, incomplete. Marshall with the coverage.
By that time, UNA dropped into coverage. They played man coverage with a free safety and a spy on Taylor.
Sims
got him
was
flushed.
chasing him,
Yeah.
yep.
Forced the throw, and nice coverage right there.
Yeah, Chavez Sims really got him out of his rhythm. And now left-footed James Dugan.
Now he's an All-American punter, and from the West Georgia perspective, he needs to be one right here.
From Carrollton. Low driving kick. Marshall takes it at the 45. Marshall up the middle. Marshall breaks the tackle and down to the 25 of West Georgia. Great return by Filbert Marshall.
Well, as you said, partner, that thing was pretty low, and that's what a great returner wants, and Marshall is a great one. And I thought he was going to spin it all the way out that right side and take it to the house, but great field position for UNA. Very well executed punt return, and here we go again.
1st and 10 at the 25. 9:14 remaining in the game. West Georgia leads at 21-17. Dre Hall with the catch, and Dre Hall to the 8. Sales chases him out of bounds.
Well, they came in and threw a little hitch off the play fake right there. Nothing spectacular about the play, but boy, the move after the catch it's really broke the ankles of the defensive back there. Set that thing up big time.
And there goes Thompson. Touchdown, UNA. And I think it's going to be a late hit after the play was over. Faison kind of nudged back at Thompson after he scored. We'll have to wait and see, but that appeared would be the case.
Well, it's an emotional game, and you got to keep them under control, and if that's the case.
Touchdown is good. After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense, number 5. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
And that's what it was. It was in the end zone. So that'll be marked on the kickoff, I think.
Yeah, it will.
So Pontius with the extra point, and it's good. And now the Lions go up by 3. 8:54 remaining here in Florence, Alabama tonight in the Gulf South Conference. And what about Mr. Thompson? He knows how to find pay dirt and does it again here. (24-21) Lions.
The Gulf South Conference is focused on the student athlete and supporting its 12-member institutions by competing for regional and national championships, graduating student athletes at the highest rate, and impacting its community in a meaningful way. Headquartered in Birmingham, the GSC features a dynamic blend of public and private institutions. Its members and student athletes represent the very best in the NCAA. Compete, graduate, impact. The Gulf South Conference.
Anytime you make the transition to Division II, you get a lot of publicity.
One of the first things we've done is we have the NCAA logo right on our front sign, so we want everybody to know we're excited to be a part of the NCAA. We look forward to competing at the highest level.
This university is a great place to learn, and it needs and deserves that kind of education.
It just increases the quality of student that we have academically and athletically.
That really has changed, I think, this institution.
Oh, everybody jamming here at Brawley Stadium tonight. Well, we're trying.
Let's play. We're rocking and rolling here now. I mean, we got us a football game.
24-21 UNA as DeMonte Thompson again answers the call. And it has been everything and more what we expected here tonight in Florence. And as we anticipated, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty gave Pontius a chance to kick it off from the 50. And I think it's somewhere over near Pulaski, Tennessee.
It is. It's still going. It's sailed over the Texaco sign out there. All right. I see your touchdown, and I'll raise you a touchdown. Now, see how you can answer that.
Well, Emmanuel Taylor, playing for the injured Dallas Dickey with the hip pointer, has been amazing tonight, particularly running the football. His last touchdown run was something he was able to ad-lib into the end zone. McCauley goes in motion. Taylor before he takes the snap. And a penalty marker.
Prior to the snap, full start.
I think that was Eric Newman.
Number 88. 5-yard penalty.
Never a good time for a
first
penalty,
down.
But this may be about as inopportune a time as you could have from a West Georgia standpoint. This place is rocking a little bit now, partner.
Well, I tell you, they had a great crowd last time we were here. Of course, always love coming here, driving over today. You see the kids coming to the game, walking with their friends. It's kind of takes me back a while.
And you know, in this state, you always fight the big boys, Alabama and Auburn. But there's a great crowd here tonight, and they're into it.
And their team is ranked 3rd in Division II and undefeated. Low snap, and I think we may have a violation. I think it could have been Awa DeBose Orion, the left guard.
Prior to the snap, timeout, West Georgia. That is their second timeout.
Now West Georgia just going to try to settle things down here a little bit. They take their second timeout.
And you know, you have to wonder if that maybe might be a factor down the stretch too, as tight as this one is.
Well, we were here several weeks ago, and one of the things that you always want to see is a great football game. Valdosta State had scored late in the game to take the lead, and my partner, Rick Rhodes, says, I think they left too much time, and what happened was it gave UNA a chance to win the game with 3 seconds to go by that gentleman.
Just kicked a short field goal from Wilson, Alabama, to their side as well. So here we go.
Going to be about 54 yards. It's on the way, and it is good! UNA wins!
Life of a coach. And who knows, we may be headed to that again.
That could be. First and 15. The throw and the catch. And Levi Fell was kind of riding the receiver Hunt, or Hall, excuse me, Shaq Hall, riders up in Keeneland today.
There's a little smash route, and they threw the underneath route. The corner route was covered, so threw it underneath. Now, folks, this is not your basic tackle right here. Neither is that leg double arm bar, but he got him down.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 for the Wolves of West Georgia. 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining.
Of course, when they look to the sideline, you know they're getting a different play from the box up top and adjusting accordingly.
And Taylor on the keeper. And he gets about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Stop made by Stephen Rich, the fine middle linebacker. Coach, I guess at this point, when you have basically running offenses, you want to get a drive and eat as much of that clock as you can too, right?
You do, but I think to score, you're going to have to do what each of these teams have done in the second half, what we're talking about at halftime. They've got some big impact plays.
Taylor runs for the first down and tripped up before he gets to the 46. And again, Jalen Aretas, the free safety, up to make the stop on senior Emmanuel Taylor.
West Georgia has done a nice job on that read option of handling the flat defender in a variety of ways, either back out of the backfield or That time the tight end with a real nice block on the edge player to spring Taylor for the first down. That's a key first down. Now they need to turn the ball back over right there.
3-point lead for the Lions. 7 minutes to go. They fake the reverse to Appling. Now Taylor's going to let it fly up in the air, and it's caught. Shaq Hall with the catch, and he's down at the 5. It looked like that one was thrown up for grabs, but Shaq Hall made the grab.
Well, the reason it looked like it was thrown up for grabs, partner, because it was. There were 2 purple shirts there and 1 white. This is the fake reverse pass. He scrambles, and this ball is just thrown down the middle of the field. You can see there's 2 purple shirts right there. But what happens is this. The UNA defenders lose track of the receiver and start playing the ball. For the ball to be caught, it's got to hit somebody's hands. Now we've got a flag as I'm talking. I think it's going to be illegal participation.
Legal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's
First
a 5-yard
down.
penalty. It was Floyd Jones and Levy Fell that were both up there.
And you can see both of them started looking for the ball in the sky instead of keeping a relationship to the man and playing the ball as it came down. And it cost them big time, but now that 5-yard penalty sure helps them and hurts West Georgia. Now instead of 1st and goal from the 4, we're back to the 9.
Boy, a fortuitous opportunity there for Taylor, because he really threw that one up. They're going to try to go in the corner again.
But they're going to get those 5 yards back because I think UNA was in the neutral zone.
Fell on the coverage that time. Boy, he and
Offside. Defense.
the
Number
defense,
92.
he and
5-yard
Shaq
penalty.
Hall were having some words.
First down.
So we'll be right back where we were. 1st and goal from the 4, 2 plays ago.
Clock with 6:29 remaining. Boy, we've had some outstanding plays tonight. He's had some pretty fortunate ones both ways, too.
Absolutely.
That's what happens in every football game. Now here goes again. Taylor takes it in for the touchdown. The 3rd rushing touchdown for Emmanuel Taylor in this game.
Well, that's that off-tackle power play again. He does a nice job, Taylor does, of seeing the cutback lane and weaving it back to his right to change the lead again. For how many times has this league changed in the second half?
Bunch.
You can see it. Play's supposed to go to the right as you're looking at it, but watch him make that cutback behind the block of the right side of his offensive line. And the UNA defense frankly doesn't do a very good job of closing that backside running lane. Very uncharacteristic for them, but real heads-up play by Taylor.
And Heck with the extra point, and now UNA is down by 4 with 6:25 remaining. Don't go away. Good finish coming here in Florence. Dallas Dickey was going to be the quarterback tonight. Emmanuel Taylor. Dickey has a hip pointer. And Taylor's running has been the difference in this game. And here come the Lions back on the kickoff. And that is Jared Smith on the kick return. Lane Thompson on the coverage. Now West Georgia on the scoring drive to get the points. 5 plays, 75 yards, 229. And Taylor the last for Ard.
And of course the big play, they call them big chunk plays. Well, that was a big chuck play, throwing that thing down there and really threw it up for grabs. And nice heads up play by Shaq Hall to set up West Georgia 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. You see North Alabama back to that diamond formation.
Wingo's going to put it in the air, and he completes it to Dre Hall. And Hall caught from behind. Boy, great hustle by Jamari James. You don't usually catch this guy from behind.
Now, because that 3-back formation is a, quote, running formation, there was no safety in the middle of the field for West Georgia. It left that corner one-on-one with that young man, and they're very fortunate they're lining up to block an extra point right now.
Got it out to the 48. Here's another one. Flag on the play. Corey Jones was the intended receiver. Vason, the cornerback, on the coverage, but the flag too.
Exactly the same route, but to the other side that time, in exactly the same situation. No safety help, one-on-one.
Pass interference, defense, number 5.
Might try that one again.
Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
Boy, I tell you, these defensive players have been tested all night, both sides. Yeah, he's grabbing him. Got a piece of his jersey.
Normally when you see the number stretched out more than 1.5 feet, it's going to be called.
Yep, there's no doubt about that one. 1st and 10 from the 41 of West Georgia with less than 6 minutes to go in the game. UNA down by 4, ranked 3rd nationally in Division II, undefeated. Wingo throws on the run, incomplete. Jones trying to indicate that he caught it, but nothing doing. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, try to come back to a little combination route to the offense's left, to the left of your screen. And just again, as West Georgia has done, out of those 2 and 1 back sets, a very good job of dropping that underneath coverage to take those away, and Wingo had to scramble.
2nd and 10 now from the 41. Wingo swings it out to Simmons. He has 3 defenders to beat and can't do it, as he's knocked down at the 36-yard line, and Simmons slow in getting up. Freeman and Brown on the stop, and Freeman, boy, I think he got hit right in the hip area.
Yeah, he got popped really good, and that's kind of the way you teach pass coverage. You could see those white shirts dropping for depth, took away the medium range routes, anticipated any throw, and broke up and made him pay for the catch.
Big 3rd and 5 here with 5.5 minutes remaining, because West Georgia has not been giving up the football without scoring in this half. Pump fake, and that cost Wingo. He fumbled it, and I think West Georgia has it. They do. West Georgia recovers with 5:12 remaining. Dickey had the pocket break down, and for the 2nd time tonight, he lost the ball. Recovered by Stuckey.
Well, that time West Georgia played coverage again, but the defensive front played pass first all the way. Great upfield pressure, collapsed the pocket, and as you said, partner, forced Wingo to cough that thing up. And you can see this pocket collapsing. You see the great upfield pressure. What you don't see is great underneath coverage and great spot drops by the West Georgia coverage. Just nowhere to go with the ball, and really a heads-up play right there by Dalvin Stuckey to get on that football.
Yeah, Freeman was the guy in there, I think, that knocked it loose. And Bobby Wallace's team now trailing by 4 with 5:12 remaining. Of course, UNA number 3 nationally, 6-0 overall, 3-0 in league play. And Torrey Slater is getting the assistance to the sideline for West Georgia.
It's another one of those big interior guys that has to be helped off the field.
Well, we anticipated a real fight tonight between the Lions and the Wolves with Bobby Wallace and Will Hall. We did not expect just to see Emmanuel Taylor, but his running ability has been the difference tonight.
And he's hit some fortuitous passes
Yes,
too
he
as
has.
well.
Very much so. And the senior out of Blakey, Georgia is back in there again. Try to run some clock and get some yardage. And he loses about 4 because Chavez Sims came in from his defensive end position to sack him behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, that stunning moving interior defense gets upfield, disrupts the play before it ever starts. And that was the read zone again. He had somebody in his face before he ever had a chance to read anything.
Under 5 minutes remaining. West Georgia has the 4-point lead and the ball. 2nd and 14.
Looking to the sideline to get another play.
And Taylor's going to keep it. Doesn't get the first down, but he got 5, maybe 6 yards on the play.
That was really a little counter play. You know, he gave a little hitch fake to his right, but the pullers were all going left. And it was really the modern version of the old Washington Redskins counter tray play.
Now it's 3rd down and 4 from the 45 as we've moved under 4 minutes remaining.
Oh, this is a big play.
West Georgia trying to upset UNA. And here come the Wolves on the move, and that was Appling on the carry. And he gets the first down. Boy, he's made some big plays tonight.
Yeah, he really has. And frankly, I did not recognize his skills as a running back. Watch, he gives a little inside dip and then just breaks it outside and outruns the defensive perimeter. And that time, no edge player. Nice job on the edge of blocking by the West Georgia receivers.
And you know, Hensley hadn't been able to get the yardage going straight ahead. They've needed to get it wide.
Not very much inside at all. And really, Appling has really hurt UNA with his outside running ability.
1st and 10, the ball at the 49 of North Alabama. And here goes Taylor again, or at least trying to go. He got a yard, maybe 2, and pushed forward by a bunch of folks.
We do have a stoppage here.
I don't know why they stopped the clock. I mean, the play wasn't blown dead. Timeout?
Timeout. North Alabama.
There you go. I was going to say UNA going to start using the timeouts. They have 1 left now. 3:04 remaining. It's 2nd down and 9 for West Georgia. Bobby Wallace grabs the headset.
And of course, a 3:04 and only 1 timeout left. It goes without saying. I mean, they need to stop on this series for sure.
Well, the West Georgia Wolves came in here tonight with their, I guess you could call him spunky, energetic head coach, and knows they had a chance to win. And I guess all you can think at this point is they're in a position now that they can.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they control their fate right now. And you know, when it looked like UNA was going to kind of get momentum, take control of the game, they'd have none of it. They hit the big play to Appling down the middle to get them back even again, and really, from that point on, have kind of controlled the game.
Emmanuel Taylor, the player of the night for West Georgia, in for the starter Dallas Green with an injury. And Taylor has rushed for, well, 3 touchdowns. And responsible for the other, Hensley gets the call. It falls forward for a pretty good pickup. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
You know, he really lost his balance as he made that cutback. If he would have stayed on his feet, he had a chance to get some big yardage on that one. That's maybe the best cutback lane he's had tonight.
Yep. Now a big 3rd and 5 play with 2:40 remaining here in the 4th. Will the Wolves be able to knock off the top seed, or the top team right now in the GSC, And undefeated #3 nationally in Division II.
Well, I'm looking to the sideline where they're looking, and I don't see anybody doing anything except I guess we're going to call a timeout now.
Yeah, we'll let the clock run down.
West Georgia.
Normally when you look to the sideline, there's
30 seconds.
8 guys giving signals and all that. Nobody was doing anything. They were just standing there. So.
Well,
correction.
North
That will be
Alabama
their
has
final
one
timeout.
timeout remaining.
That is
The
their final
Wolves
timeout
now
of the
have
game.
none. But the idea here is to get the first down and keep the clock moving.
And one point to make here, a field goal won't do it.
Right.
It's going to have to be a touchdown, even if UNA is able to stop West Georgia and get the ball back. And I think that's no small point. Obviously, if West Georgia is able to put more points on the board and make it a 2-score game, that'd be very tough.
Look like Zach Tate is over here warming up on the sideline for North Alabama. He's a senior out of Columbia, Tennessee.
I don't know whether Wingo's injured or
And
just in case.
I bet they just hope to get the ball back. Crowd encouraging the defense here on 3rd down and 5. And Taylor is stuffed this time. Chavez Sims, defensive end, makes the play. And now it's going to be 4th and long, and you're going to see the punting unit.
Timeout, North Alabama.
And North
That is their
Alabama has
final.
to use
This
its
will be a
last
30 second.
timeout.
Yeah, well, North Alabama really had a great adjustment to that set. They really overloaded to the side that West Georgia went to. Just too many people. Taylor tried to stop and kind of survey the situation and go back the other way, but unblocked UNA line was there to force that big loss of yardage. And now, barring something unforeseen, we're going to have the ball flip back over to UNA, and this last 2:13 is going to be pretty interesting.
Well, now neither team with a timeout. So that always comes into play in the final minutes. That started out 7-0. West Georgia scored on its first possession. UNA tied it up. It was 7-7 at halftime. And UNA went ahead and pretty much led most of the way until West Georgia scored the last 2.
Pretty interesting to get to this point now with neither team having a timeout left.
You're right. That's when you want to have them. They're going to just kick this one high. And Marshall wants to get it. Oh, I think, did they get it at the 1? Oh, no, they're going to call it a touchback. Boy, that was close.
He thought about it.
He did. I mean, that could have been at the 1-inch line. Watch this at the end again.
Well, let's see how it bounces here. Definitely looks like it does break the plane.
Yeah. Great hustle that time by Lane Thompson. He's the guy that pulled off the fake punt earlier. So now it comes out to the 20. We have 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. And North Alabama down by 4. Wingo throws upfield. Carpenter with the catch to the 36. Gaines and James make the stop. They'll move the chains and a first down, stop the clock momentarily. Now Wingo to the near side. That's caught by Carpenter, but really only a yard or 2 gain. Stop made by Sales.
And that really is an ill-advised throw. That does nothing. Those 2 yards don't help it, and that clock is moving, and these 10 or 15 extra seconds could be very vital.
Just use some time here. And Wingo in trouble, throws it upfield. Thompson makes the catch. DeMonte Thompson down to the 42 of West Georgia.
You know, sometimes you just got to make a play.
Yep. Adams and Gaines combine on the stop.
Nice little check release. Wingo kept his presence, knew where his people were on the field. Dumps it off to Thompson.
Wingo looks, throwing it long downfield. Incomplete, intended for Washington. Well, he had him out there, but a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, he had a step, and the ball just slightly overthrown. It's a post route inside, skinny post, and it's a little bit too much.
Yeah. Well, you can bet these defenses are tired right now, too. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 42 of West Georgia. They're coming after Wingo from behind, and he goes down. Tries to let it go, and they're going to rule it incomplete. That was Caldwell again, number 9, coming in from the top of your screen.
He's been their best pass rusher all year, and you can see why. He comes off that edge, kind of like a screaming eagle, and darn near stripped that football, and very fortunate that intentional grounding wasn't called there.
Yeah, because he wasn't outside to tackle, was he?
No, did have a receiver in the general area.
Stops the clock with 1:02. But now it's 3rd and 10. Looking long again, and it's caught. Corey Smith makes the catch. Excuse me, Corey Jones with the catch.
Well, this is the go route, and you can see the ball is thrown where you want it, over the outside shoulder, but the ball really is mistimed by the West Georgia defensive back, Laranji Vazen.
Under 50 seconds to go, 1st and goal from the 9. Wingo throws, Carpenter, touchdown! Another Brawley Stadium miracle as Wingo gets it to Delvon Carpenter.
Well, that's the corner route, very similar to what we saw early, and I believe that you're going to see a spectacular catch here as we've got another one down.
Wow.
This was very similar to the touchdown earlier in the game, the corner route again, and I believe that this ball is tipped with one hand and then brought down with the other. Had some white jerseys in between, but we'll see.
Let's take a look at it again. The go-ahead touchdown from Wingo.
Well, there's the corner, and this one's up over the top and
catch. Wow.
I'm wrong. It wasn't tipped with one. It was caught with one and brought in with one. What a catch.
Over Jamari James in the corner. And injured on the play was number 58, Keith Jones, the left tackle. Of course, now the all-important extra point. 7 plays, 80 yards. They did it in 1:20. And Taylor Pontius will try to tack on point number 31. And the extra point brought to you by Florida Space Coast. Flag on the play. Have to check out the penalty flag.
If this is on West Georgia, this could be significant.
Well, I tell you what, UNA just does not die at home.
Field goal is good. During the play, personal foul, leaping on the defense. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
There'll be no return again.
No return, and they'll start on the 25-yard line. And yeah, you're right. Very resilient football team. They do what they have to do. They dump to Thompson, and then this right here, really a nice throw and just a spectacular, really one-handed catch to bring that thing in. Caught West Georgia in man coverage, and the ball is put where it can't be defended, and that's all she wrote.
And let's not forget the great catch by Corey Jones just prior to that. 2 great catches.
Absolutely, absolutely. 2 spectacular plays when they had to have them. And the little dump off to Thompson, which kind of kept this thing alive. There's another angle at it right there. You can see tough angle to catch the ball, and just brings that thing in with one hand. Great concentration, follows it all the way, and really, as a defensive back, what do you do? I mean, that ball's up and over. I don't think anybody's got those kind of jumps. Pick it up and knock that thing away.
There's the junior out of Houston, Texas. And the Lions lead it by 3. And this kickoff will be from the midfield stripe.
And they really need a great return to give them great field position, but they're not going to have any kind of chance as that one is well out of the end zone.
Wingo tonight has hit 24 out of 36, 316 yards and 2 touchdowns, a couple of picks.
Yep.
But not in the second half.
No, great second half. Well, here it is again. Watch the hands and watch the eyes never leave the football. Brings it in, foot's inbound. That's how you catch a football.
Well, now both teams out of timeout really comes into play for West Georgia.
Now, you know, West Georgia still has time, but they're going to have to get something along the lines of what North Alabama got. They're going to have to get a big play somewhere in here. They're not going to be able to 8 and 10 yard it down the field.
But I tell you, Emmanuel Taylor has been outstanding tonight for West Georgia. He's made a lot of things happen, gets this one out to McCauley. McCauley tries to get the first down before he runs out of bounds. He's going to be a little closer. I'm not sure if he got it or not.
Looks like he's about a yard short.
Second and 1 from the 34.
So UNA with a 3-man rush, they're going to drop everybody except Coach Wallace in coverage.
And they're about 15 yards off the ball. Low snap. Taylor has to go down and get it. Now trying to ad-lib, throws and just throws it away. Stops the clock with 30 and 6/10 seconds. But now it's going to be 3rd and short. Tell you, it has not been easy for either quarterback because these defenses have really not had a lot of sacks, but they've just made everybody hurt.
Well, no, you know what? The big plays that have come offensively, think about it, they've been on great individual effort.
Yep.
Great catches, great runs. And UNA again, it looks like they're gonna drop everybody. Get 2 safeties behind, drop those underneath coverages, try to keep that ball in the middle of the field.
And Taylor's going to run with it. It's across the 50, and now he steps out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Boy, these teams can get a lot with not much left on the clock, can't they?
You know, realistically, he's going to have to get to the 30-yard line for a field goal attempt, I think. So they're going to need about 18 more yards.
And Heck on the season is 7 out of 9 on field goals. 26 of 27 on PATs. And that's what the Wolves would need to send it to a possible overtime. Taylor steps up. Now he wants to run and is finally knocked down at the 35. Going to have to get up in a hurry.
Probably gonna have to kill it right here. Spike it. Clock is running under 10.
And they spike it to stop it with 8. Boy, like you said, Coach, that's when you like to have those timeouts in your pocket, isn't it?
You know, you got a couple choices here. Maybe try to work the sideline, get 5 or 6 more yards to add to the field goal, or take 1 shot to the end zone to win the game, or kick the field goal right now. Of course, if you run another play, the problem that you have is that if you get a sack or tackled in bounds, game's over.
Well, right now it would be about a 52-yard field goal. Which what Pontius made 2 yards longer than that to beat Valdosta State here a few weeks ago. Now they're going for it all. Taylor gets away from the traffic, now throws toward the end zone, and I believe it's intercepted. Regardless, it's over. UNA hangs on to win 31-28 in a Gulf South Conference Classic tonight. Wow, what a game. Darvell Harris got the pick, but man, oh man, what a game we expected. And Coach, did we get it ever?
You know, the thing you look for in games where you have heavyweights squaring off is who can find a way to win. And that's exactly what UNA did. I mean, this game went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But in the end, UNA made the play that they had to make to come up with victory number 7 for the season. And solidify their place not only in the top 3 in the country, but in the driver's seat for this conference.
And you see Devon Carpenter, who made that game-winning catch in the end zone. And, of course, don't forget Corey Jones with the big play prior to that to set up that opportunity. Take a breath, Coach.
Well, it was everything that it was supposed to be. It lived up to everything.
Well, 31-28 is our final score, as UNA remains undefeated, 7-0 overall, 4-0 in league play, and that's the way it all started here today on a great night in the GSC. So the Lions come from behind to win it by a final of 31-28 here at Raleigh Stadium. Don't forget, next week, Valdosta State at West Alabama. For my analyst, Rick Rhodes, I'm Don Russell. Final score 31-28. This has been a presentation of ESPN.